Alrighty then. Welcome everyone to much anticipated, not too long overdue session 5, right? Session 5? Is that where we're at? Session 5 for Kingmaker Adventure Path.
I believe so.
Joining me today, quiet, this is my moment to shine. I'm just kidding, Charles. I'm so aggressive. I was very aggressive earlier too in my last session, but it's good. But joining me today are 4 amazing role players who I am genuinely grateful to have a chance to play with. And we're going to pick up right where we left off during our last session. You all pulled off, I would argue we could consider it a heist. I mean, is that a fair assessment?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Heist was done.
Yes.
Yeah. We stole a person, but that's still a heist.
Whoa.
Reverse
I don't know if we
kidnapping.
should be stealing people. Like, that opens up a whole can of worms, but I digress.
I prefer the term repossession.
I don't know if that's any
That's
better.
worse in some ways, isn't it?
I don't know if that's better. Like, is that better?
Liberation.
I don't know.
Well, it's like some kind of a dry thing, so maybe it was more like replanting, where you take the bot thing and you put it into the new box.
So we pick up our scene, minutes, I should say, after the end of our last session, where you all had rescued a plant lady of some sort. She appears to be partially made of leaves, maybe made of trees, we're not sure exactly, but definitely fey-touched in some way. She had been called Oradora by Pervalash, the little fairydragon who is naught but a nuisance, dare I say. And she had been in a cage of, well, what appeared to be some sort of cold-ish iron. Hashtag no spoilers, it was cold iron, which makes sense, right? But Dennok had, I believe through a nat 20, if memory serves correct, messed up that lock, brilliantly so, released her, and the two of them had taken off sprinting. She'd expressed her gratitude, taken his hand, and then the pair of you, along with Pervalash, the trio, returned to the rendezvous point, which is by a small camp, several miles, multiple miles away from the bandits, and well hidden, so that even if they come looking for you, they will be unlikely to find you. So we're going to pick up with the trio approaching the camp: Samia, Theragor, and Ingram, Dennok, Oradora, and Pervalash perched on, if allowed, Dennok's shoulder. Take it away.
Well, I think that plan went very well, all things considered.
Yes.
Certainly could have gone a lot worse there for a moment.
Yes. Miss Oradora, correct?
Yes?
Hi. I'm Ingram. This is Theragor and Samia. We are friends of Dennok here. That we helped free you, as it were.
Now that you are free, where do you wish to go?
You have my humble gratitude. When those bandits, when they captured me, the Stag Lord's men, I feared it might be the end of me. At this point, she is still holding on to Dennok's hand. She does let it go and bring it to her chest. As your eyes begin to glow a faint blue, Ingram, as your eyes begin to glow a faint blue, Ingram, you do detect some magic upon her. You detect some transmutation, some abjuration, as well as a bit of divination that is glowing around her like a soft aura, and you see all the different sort of threads of magic. Like, I always describe it as like a weave, almost like stitchwork, or describe it as like crocheting, I would say, or knitting, like that. So you see it, and she offers a grateful and soft, kind smile to Dennok. If it were not for the efforts of this man here and all of you, I fear my life may have been forfeit. The man in yellow and the Stag Lord had what I believe were horrible plans for me.
Right. Um, I don't mean to intrude, but I have casted a minor cantrip to detect magic, and I sense that there's divination coming off of you. Is that possibly from them?
Smiles brightly. I would think not. Those that captured me were not of magical inclination. It is likely my patron, my lady, who was watching over me.
Very well. You said it was divination, transmutation, and what?
Abjuration.
Abjuration. Okay. Thank you.
To answer your question, my dear dwarf, as for where I wish to go back to the temple. And now, hopefully with your aid, cure it of the ailment that has befallen it.
The ailment that's behind this winter, correct?
Nods. Yes, there is a curse that has been laid upon the temple there. A temple that is both of my lady and of the one true stag lord, I should say. And she sort of reaches up, and she is wearing some like leather clothing and like a shirt and whatnot. Like she has some normal clothing on, almost like a little bit of fur around like a jacket. And she reaches out and pulls out a small symbol of Erastil from around her neck as well.
So, you mean to say that another name for Rastal is the Stag Lord?
He is that is to say, I have often referred to him as the Lord of Stags. His body is that of a man, yet his head is that of a stag.
Lord of the Hunt.
Indeed.
I'm gonna join in.
He is often referred to as the Stag God, the Old Deadeye, Estig the Hunter, Elkfather. So she is likely not exactly calling him his normal title. It's normally Stag God, not Stag Lord, but it is a very close adjacent sort
Right.
of
It's like a regional like
perhaps. Yeah,
accent
you
or
could argue that it
affectation.
is.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
So this the bad man that's betraying himself as a stag lord, we'll call him a stag lord for now. Not to upset Erastil, but the man that would be the stag lord is co-opting his name.
Pervilash giggles slightly at that comment. As if as if a man could co-opt a god's name. You're silly and stupid. And it continues to giggle.
I can't imagine a god actually having a close enough interest to care whether someone called themselves a stag lord or not, but I imagine them so large. How
I
did
would.
you end up in that cage in the first place?
There is a look that crosses Oridora's face of embarrassment and regret. Well, that was in truth my own error. I, against my better judgment, I went to the temple and sought to release it and this land from the winter that grips it so tightly. She rocks her head back and forth slightly. I was not strong enough, and I did not listen to the warnings that my lady gave to me. She told me to wait. She urged me to wait for one that she had called. One that she had called along with others who could assist me. But I am often impatient. They were waiting for me when I arrived. They captured me and threw me in that cage of frigid iron. Till you rescued me.
How long?
Several days.
I'm sorry for that.
You know what they wanted with you? I hardly understand what monetary value a bandit would. Oh wait, now that I can't think of it, never mind. It's like the thought of slavery might be a thing has only just occurred to him.
What can, oh,
Go ahead.
what can you tell us of this lady that you serve?
She smiles brightly as if you have asked her the question she's been yearning to answer. She is the Lady of the Woods. She is a manifestation of the life that exists here, both of the material plane and of the first world. She is there. She is she is the spirit that guards this place. But the man in yellow and the stag lord, they have done something to harm her, to weaken her. And now she is trapped, much like this land is trapped in this cold, unforgiving winter.
Will
Quite-
cleansing the temple free her?
A look of uncertainty crosses her face. I do not know, but I believe it will. Or at the very least shall loosen her binds, or loosen that what binds her.
Would I be able to ascertain like a proper classification of to what the lady is with this information?
It's been left intentionally vague for both story reasons and likely because this is just the way that she imagines this figure, right? I would allow you a knowledge nature check. It is a high DC. Even if you make it, you may not get very much information. However, you can start to formulate some ideas if that's what you'd like to do.
Definitely.
Is that fair?
I would also like to make a knowledge nature check
Sure.
about.
Absolutely.
Wonderful.
Would a knowledge religion
Absolutely. I would allow it.
elicit
It may
anything?
give you information, it may not.
Good to cover both
Dennok will
bases.
simply take it on faith and hope.
Do you say that in character, Dennok?
No, as in he's not just going to question. Like, I don't need to hear about the nature of this person or to understand it. If they say this person's trapped, that sounds bad.
Right.
Hey, not bad.
Pervilash is like lightly playing with Dennok's somewhat long hair. He's like trying to braid it right now. You may bat him away at your leisure.
Oh, I thought you meant like a cat, like an eh.
He's
eh.
like actively braiding it.
Oh,
You don't mess with the cat if you don't want to get lost. So I do the best I can to basically ignore it. Like, maybe he'll get bored. It's okay.
He seems very dedicated to this process.
I see.
man's got dreads.
So with your 24, with your 19, the best guess you have based on the description she has provided is likely some sort of fey creature. What particular type of fey creature, you're not sure. But it's likely some sort of first world spirit, the lady of the woods, she's protective, etc. Like these sort of descriptive words she's used, these sort of ethereal kind of descriptions, I would say, that she's given. That is what your mind leads to. Likely some sort of fey creature. Could be a dryad, could be a nymph. Who knows, right? You haven't seen her yet.
Well, and I kind of like face more towards the group rather than the lady here. I do not like the idea of others being in cages. I feel
Nor
like
do
I would
I.
help them if I could. But I won't drag you all with me.
Slavery is an abomination, and it sounds like this lady is in similar straits if she's being held in such a manner.
Agreed.
That is
We've
true.
faced danger together what several times now, and none of us have walked away. My friends, it's safe to say we're all in this for a while.
especially since my friend Jode has been looking for this temple. It would seem.
Well, me too.
Yes,
But, that
perhaps
doesn't
you'd like
help.
to assist us.
Well, if you don't need anything else immediately, then where do we go? Are you hungry? Do you need water?
Are you harmed? Do you need healing?
I am, other than perhaps my pride being wounded, I am unharmed. As for where do we go, the temple is not far from here. It is, she points to the west. It is to the west. However, it will not be easy to find it. Not only is the temple gripped by this winter, the wards that hide it from others, they are malfunctioning. It may take some doing to find it, but I believe I can guide you there.
Question for you.
Yes?
We encountered a tower that was hollow and in the middle contained a chained chest. Do you know what is kept in there?
He looks genuinely surprised for a second. I do not. I believe I have seen this tower, but I have never bothered to investigate. The runes and wards upon it seem to indicate danger or trouble. And when I'm not being impatient, I tend to avoid danger and trouble.
Yep. Fixes
I
his
say,
robe.
I'd say I do that too, but I don't think I'd be telling the truth. So
Vervlash tugs a little bit too hard on one of your hairs. It hurts slightly. He continues to giggle.
Well,
I'm
uh,
glad you're entertained at least.
Thurgor, if Jode has been looking for this temple as well, should we enlist his help and make the trek back to Oleg's?
We are so close. I think we should at least take a look at this temple ourselves first.
Oradora will interject. If
Mm-hmm.
you have others that are willing to aid in its recovery, I would not dissuade you from seeking their aid. The
Very well,
guardian that is there will not be easy to overcome. It has been turned into something foul and angry, and it will fight with a ferocity that our small band may not be able to overcome.
This is a guardian that used to serve Erastil and was turned by the Stag Lord.
She nods. Yes.
Several news.
What
That's
what sort of guardian?
A great beast. You might refer to it as a bear, but it is as much a bear as it was once a man. Its heart is filled with anger and rage. I believe he is beyond saving, but I also do not know.
Well, in that case, yes. I suppose it would be a good idea to go back to Oleg's.
yes. I think some supplies to fit the encounter would be something to something to grab as well.
Hmm.
Would you call this thing unholy?
I am not a priestess. I would call it corrupted. If that is unholy, then yes. If it is not, then no.
Perhaps. And he just kind of looks like he's thinking.
Shall we return briefly to Oleg's outpost then?
I believe
See if
so.
we can perhaps get a little more assistance with this. And we should make sure that the Stag Lord's men haven't gone back to harass them while we've been gone.
Indeed.
I'm sorry, the false Stag Lord. And she kind of looks at Aodora when she says that.
She smiles understandingly. If it is all the
We should
same
just
to
call
you
him
all, I am not one for civilization. If you would be willing to drop me off at Pervalash's circle, We should be safe there while you return to this Oleg's. The Stagbird? That's pretty funny. Oh, Stagbird.
Does Audara seem like I guess like is she concerned that if we don't like go there right away, like that the world's gonna end? Because if she doesn't, then I agree we should go back.
No, she seems to be urging you all. Not even seems. She's urging you all to seek greater aid to ensure some victory. That is what she's urging.
Sounds good to me.
Urvalash has finished braiding a Viking-esque braid on the right side of your hair, and even has added a small little like little circlet at the end, made of like very thick vine. There's a little heart in it too.
To whose hair?
Into Dennok's hair.
Oh,
Cute.
Theragor will step away. He doesn't want the dragon messing with his
Urvalash
hair.
eyes your beard hungrily.
Oh no, Thurgle.
Yeah.
Better watch out.
Yeah.
I suspect you're next.
Well, as long as I'm
Well,
not
in that
allergic
case,
to it.
the sooner that we go to Oleg's, the better.
I can lead Aradora back to my circle. We'll meet you there when you come back. Hee hee.
That sounds like a wonderful idea. He is like low-key very excited for this dragon to get the hell off of his shoulder.
Right. Yeah.
So he will move to like his horse and start like hooking it back up to the cart and preparing to get a move on. It's like, well, we won't be long.
Travel well, and may the lady's blessings be abundant upon your journey.
We'll see you shortly.
Smiles. Her and Pervalash take off. Pervalash offers a little Fairydragon claw finger wave, and the two of them move into the woods and eventually disappear into the foggy mist that is the constant snowfall in this area. Alright, so you guys are going to head back to Oleg's. Let's go ahead and move you back over to the big old adventure map that we have here. You all get up and travel back. I'll roll just a quick random encounter. No random encounters on the way back. And you arrive at Oleg's. It has been several days since you journeyed out into the woods. And as you return, yes?
I would like to, on our way there, maybe one of the days we are camping, I assume that there would be like one day like me and Theragor would be switching off like shifts watching the camp.
Close enough to where you can beeline it back to Oleg's in a day.
Oh, okay.
If you want to camp, I will not stop you. How urgent are you to return? That is your choice as a party.
No, we'll just go there then.
Yeah.
Did you want a scene with Dennok to talk? Because we could very easily have that as you're approaching. Perhaps you pull him aside. If Dennok's
No. It was with Theragor.
Oh, with Theragor, forgive me.
I'll do it later.
No. We can do it as you guys are approaching. Let's have that scene. I think that's perfect.
Okay. Because the cart has like a little driver section, right? Yeah. Me and Theragor will be. I guess one of us is driving.
Yeah.
It's kind of been quiet. He's been like thinking, like reading in a book or two. And he just kind of closes and puts him up and says, Theragor, you obviously care enough about the gods to be in their service. Is it just the service, or is it something else?
I serve one, Torag, not
Right.
all. And I would say yes, it is the god or the goddess, not the service itself. Otherwise, you would want to follow just anyone.
Right. I've never really given it much thought. They haven't been much help to me during my life, unfortunately.
Sometimes their guidance comes in less obvious ways.
Yeah.
But have you not seen the spells, the magical effects that I am able to bring forth? These come from Torag, not from myself.
Right. Look at me. I'm part celestial myself, at least a bit. It, I have access to divine magic of some sort, able to cure you. I brought you healthy again. I've never had that pull until, oh, it's not really a pull towards the gods. It's just I've never died before, so I've never really given any thoughts. It
I would think that for each, the call is different. I, for one, well, I was brought up in Brunderton. The forge and Torag was always there. My father was a blacksmith. There was no question that I'd become a follower of Torag. For me, it seemed simply what I was supposed to do. I think that perhaps for others, well, each has their own path, such as Dennok. He hears a call that I never did. Who can say which one is better than the other? Are
no.
you asking because you are seeking something, or you just, or has the thought just come to you?
The thought came to me, and I, I don't know. I guess it started when we were first on our way to Oleg's. Those bodies on the side of the road, the people that did it, it it moved me, I guess. Unlike I've seen people die. I've seen people murder. He recalls a bad memory.
Right.
I've
Yes.
I've killed before. Not in cold blood, but it's all very complicated. All this god stuff.
Indeed.
Arcane magic is just simple mental equations, spells, and words create effect, a cause and effect, and it's all very easy to me. It.
Well,
Thank you.
I can only give you Torag's advice. You will have to uh, listen to other clerics if you want their perspectives. But from the view of Torag, you have only one life. You must work it, build it, craft it, as if you were building a stone castle. You must build it into the best thing that you can, the right thing. Does that make sense to you?
It does. It does.
You are the craftsman of your own life. Look closely to determine what is good and what is evil, and build that which is good.
All right. I like that. Thank you. It makes me feel a little bit better, I suppose.
I, I hope so.
And with that, unless there's anything you want to talk to me about.
Only that we have done a great thing. Torag, not only is he the god of the dwarves, he is the god of artifice, he is also the god of strategy. We built a strategy and we executed it flawlessly in saving this woman. We have created a good thing which should be celebrated. Torag, no doubt, is pleased. And with that, he just continues watching the horses come on.
And I guess we arrive.
Perfect. At the clip clop, the horse arrives, everyone goes in. As you enter in, there is a new character that you may recognize from from our first session. It is the woman who was working with. Do you recall, Dennok, the loan you took out ahead of time, and you owed the merchant woman? Do you recall that, Dennok?
I do.
Okay.
Seems I got something to report at least.
So her assistant, or I would call her assistant, this red-haired woman, more of an orangey reddish hair with green eyes. This woman, she is talking with. She's talking with none other than our boy. Does anybody remember his name? Remember his name? Creston? Yeah, right? Creston? Nobody? All right.
Creston, yeah.
Good old Creston Grevis. She's talking with Creston, and it seems to be more of a polite conversation, not anything too overly friendly, just a sort of polite conversation. And as you all move in, she takes note of Dennok and the rest, and continues talking with Creston. It doesn't seem she's in any sort of sense of urgency at this point. What you may notice, though, is as you bring your horses into the stables, the woman, Eleonora, who you had freed from the Stag Lord's grip, the symbol on the back of her neck had been removed. She is standing more upright and is currently working with Eric to tend to the horses. And he's being very gentle and very kind. Jode is sitting on the bench with his back to the table, and he's watching the interaction with a faint smile, a nod of approval, and everyone offers salutations as you all arrive. Jode sees Theragor, big, bright grin. Ah, brother! You've returned! What news have you from the wilds of this frozen land, my friend?
Theragor walks up to him and places a hand on his shoulder and says, "Jode, my friend, we have found it. Or at least we know where this temple of Erastil is that you seek."
He places his hand up on, like, you've got your hand on his shoulder. He takes his hand and, like, grips your forearm. I've never known you to be one to jest. You're not much of a comedian, my old friend. But are you fucking with me right now?
I was going to say something funny, but that would not be what Theragor would say. He says, "I'm deadly serious. Here, allow my friends to explain." And he motions towards Dennok.
He rises, he looks to everyone.
Well, yes, we have found someone who seems to know where that temple is. Apparently, it might be the reason why a good deal of the area to the south is blanketed in an unnatural winter. I believe we're probably going to need some assistance if what our source tells us is true.
Your source, my good man. What do you mean? You find a person, a priest of some sort? Details, my friend.
Local.
Details.
A local who's familiar with the temple.
What can you tell me of this person?
She'll meet us on the way to the temple.
She is a priestess of Erastil. She is. I need
She's
more
a local.
information. This is fantastic
she
news.
did have. Well, she did have a necklace with the holy symbol of Erastil upon it. So perhaps, yes, she is. I'm afraid I didn't take the time to interrogate her, seeing as we rescued her from captivity from the Stag Lord's men. I'm sorry. We've decided to call him Stagbert, just to try and avoid confusion and potential heresy. So,
which one is it that we're calling Stagbert again?
The local
the
bandits.
bandit.
Oh, yes, yes, of course.
The bandit. I have no interest in being what's the term? Unholy?
Disrespectful.
Sure, that works.
Getting struck by lightning or whatever Erastil uses to punish those who blaspheme.
I think
Oh
a
my
tree
goodness.
branch would fall upon your head.
Does he do that? And
Might throw a
he
tree
looks
at
kind
you.
of like mildly concerned for a moment, of like thinking very hard, like, have I actually done something that might cause a god to want to drop a tree branch in my head?
Only those, dear Dennok, who blaspheme with hatred in their heart. He's a forgiving god. I think you have goodness in your heart, my friend. Clap, clap on the shoulder. Well, shall we depart post haste? You need some time to rest and recover.
Yes, I think a
I
night
think
would be good.
some rest and supplies would be.
Yes,
order.
I need to see Oleg apparently about the largest bear trap he owns.
Yes.
The woman that has arrived and hasn't said anything to all of you, but Dennok would recognize. She has been jotting down something in a journal. She snaps it shut and tucks it into the lapel of her jacket, and then leans on the cart that is in here and just watches this interaction as though she's simply waiting to be acknowledged. You don't have to, but you were going to say something, Ingrid.
No,
I didn't mean to interrupt.
I would, yes. Before she leaves, it's like, I understand that our agreement was that I was to inform you when we had found this temple. I believe if you'd like to accompany us, then you can confirm that we do in fact know it.
She nods without smiling and says, "My instructions were simply to determine whether or not you had located it. It seems that you have, correct me if I'm wrong, or at least have a very promising lead."
I have no reason not to trust the person who has said this.
I shall
And
return.
even if they didn't, sorry, I would still let you know when I did find it. And it's got to be around here somewhere.
Is this a conversation just happening in front of the rest of the party?
Absolutely.
What does this woman want with the temple?
Yes, Dennok, would you kind of make an introduction?
I would if I but knew the name. I am sure that they want what anyone else would want of a temple. I imagine they must be pilgrims.
This lady that is standing in front of us, what does she look like again? I kind of glazed out when... Okay. So, yeah. All right.
She comes with the ring. It actually is always floating around her.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's real weird.
Yes, 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 yes.
Kind of messed up. So she is dressed much like you might assume a ranger to be dressed. She has a bow on her back, a pair of short swords at her hips, and a symbol around her neck, which is that of a. It looks to be the jaw of like a cat, like a cat-like symbol of some sort, almost like a cat's face, but it's almost skeletal in nature. With and it sort of glows ever so slightly if you like squint at it.
Okay. Ma'am, afternoon. My name is Ingram. Who might you be? And
You're asking for a name, or
yeah, I've given you mine.
my name is Ostrid.
Austria. Wonderful. And I assume you have something to do with Dennok here, right?
What gave that away?
Seems pretty obvious.
Why do you seek the temple?
Yes.
Theragor says, just blurting it out.
I seek the temple because my employer seeks the temple, and what she wants with it is of a personal matter.
Personal matter.
Well, if it's a personal matter, she should deal with it in person, don't you think?
Well, she's dealing with me. Her employer was kind enough to offer me supplies. when I was in a bit of a pickle before coming down here.
Oh.
And, giving information about this temple was basically how I was to hold up my end of the bargain. I really don't see anything, suspect about this.
Hmm. So, oop, can I attempt a sense motive check on Astrid?
Sure.
Sure. It's not gonna be great. Yeah. 14.
I am the sort of man
Exactly.
who allows a person to prove themselves to be untrustworthy.
You are not getting much from her, Ingram.
Okay.
There's
Okay.
nothing to indicate she's lying to you. She's just very matter of fact about everything she says.
Okay. Well, Miss Astrid, I don't mean to be rude, but would you mind giving me and my friends a minute to talk?
I have no ownership over your time, Mr. Ingram. You may
Thank
do
you.
as you see fit.
Might I inquire about the necklace you have around your neck? Is that a cat jaw?
It is. You're very observant as well.
What does it signify?
It signifies that I like cats.
Well, if you liked them, you would have kept that jaw attached to the head of the cat.
Well, that's a little gory, don't you think?
Just stone-faced at that. But Jode is snickering, Svetlana is snickering, even Oleg snorts and then
Yeah.
tries to cover it up. That was fucking good.
If you will forgive us, we have something to discuss.
She shrugs, moves
Go
over.
inside.
Seems like she's starting to kind of get ready to likely depart. She's not rushing out the door. She's just starting to gather some supplies.
Let's go inside, shall we?
There is a tinging from the workroom where your buddy Argnal Goldsmith is working on some supplies. So it's like ting ting. Oi lad, how you doing? You've returned from the woods. That's good to see. All right, you've left again. Not much for words, I see. Well, I'll get back to work then. Ting, ting, ting.
Yeah.
Fucking weird humans, I tell ya. Walks in, they walks right out without saying a bloody thing.
Happiest Paladin accent I've ever heard.
Okay, so out of character, I don't remember that guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's his name?
His name is Argnal Goldsmith. He
Oh,
arrived
right.
while you guys were gone, and just introduces himself. You may recognize him from
Right.
some of the meetings that you had in the beginning. However, he's here and he's just gotten to work. Didn't really introduce himself. He just, well, how you doing? You're alive. That's good to see.
So
Bye.
he just volunteered himself for this.
Bye, I
post.
guess.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, hey, another dwarf. Nice beard. That's real good. You see mine? It's a bit longer than yours. Not that we're judging, Any hoots. Argnal Goldsmith. I'm a smith, blacksmith, multiple types of smiths. I make shit.
A fine occupation.
Yeah, all praise to Torag and all that bullshit. Anyway, gotta get back to work. Ting, ting, ting.
Okay.
Uh,
I assume we're somewhere wherever private talk time.
Feel free to step in. Jode's he's gonna let you guys have your moment. You all walk in. Argnal gives you guys space if you want to stick into here, and his tinging becomes a little quieter.
Is this another anvil over here?
That is an anvil over there, yes.
That might be quiet if you wanted to go over there and talk.
Y'all need some space. I could take a break if you need me to. No?
Thank you.
What a strange bunch of people. Ting, ting, ting.
I've tried to do something that's not working.
In or out, make a decision. You're letting all the stink out.
Yeah, I'm gonna go talk to Oleg. You have a good day, sir.
Hey then. Oleg's like, if you all need a moment, you can use our home. That's fine. You can all step in. There's a meeting room in there that your guys are welcome to use.
That's just please.
The
thank
GM
you.
just wanted to randomly introduce a character out of nowhere. It was fun. That was all for me. I'm not gonna lie.
Is this the meeting room, or is this
This
the
one
meeting
could be the
It's
meeting
this-
room.
This
Either
one.
Yep.
This one.
Totally fine.
thing. Yo.
I'll go ahead and zoom in a little bit for you guys. Boom.
Nick. Dennok, are you coming?
Yes. Sure. Sorry.
Sure, I'm so sorry, buddy. I mean, it's much more difficult. Okay, how do I put this softly? So she's here to collect on a debt, right?
Oh yes.
Dennok? Okay.
On behalf of her employer, yes.
Right.
Who-
Do you know who this employer is at all?
That's a good question, DM. Do I know the name of my employer?
You met her. She introduced herself to you during session 1 as Miss Stone.
Well, my employer named herself as a Miss Stone, which is suggested me perhaps, someone seeking a certain amount of discretion. I generally would like to think that I would not do something or work for someone who is untoward. But the truth of the matter is that sometimes the world means that when you are truly desperate for food, there is very little that you will not do. So I do not know very much about this person, no.
I will make this your decision, of course. This all seems to be a very personal matter. I come from Absalom. I've mentioned this before. I have a bit more of a posh living situation there, but it wasn't always that. So I've been a street thug before. I've made my means through I've violated the statutes of man and not a few of God's. Just to be completely blunt there. So I know how the underworld works and things like that. This doesn't seem so much in that place, but it seems weird that a merchant would want anything to do with a temple. Maybe there's something I'm not seeing here. Maybe she's just a big fan of Erastil or temples in uncivilized places.
Well, I don't know that they're a merchant. They just introduced themselves as a Miss Stone. They
Oh,
said I answered an ad basically saying, if you need looking for work, more or less. And I
Right,
said,
okay.
well, I'm here. I'm a capable person. They said, all right, here's what I want you to do. I want you to take this job from the local sword lord who still has yet to be named,
Right.
and take on this charter. And when you do, I need you to go and find this temple of Erastil. And I was like, well, you know what? That gives me food. That gives me clothing, and that gives me steps closer towards a call that I cannot answer otherwise.
Right.
And that's
Sorry,
why
I thought she was a merchant because that's what it said in the important NPC thing. So I thought that was free information.
I'm sure it is. I'm sure it
Right.
might be. I'm saying that
I'll
Dennok
retcon it.
was not necessarily
Nothing to
in to
retcon.
ask questions, really.
That's what you guys know about her. She introduced
Okay.
herself effectively as a merchant. That is how she
Okay.
introduced herself. So that is not a retcon. That is what you would know if you know anything at all.
Sure.
Okay. All right.
Well,
Uh,
maybe there's
Unfortunately, I
nothing.
don't know much about commerce, I guess, but maybe they're looking for a tourist attraction. Like, how the hell would I know?
Well, maybe there is nothing sinister about her. It's just that the current circumstances surrounding the temple, the presence of the Stag Lord, well, a little bit of suspicion is, I think, warranted.
right. It's a very complicated situation. We have no idea whose motives are what, outside of our party or Dora and Privilesh.
Well, to be perfectly fair, what were our motivations before we found Adara to find this temple? Mine was to report it to this merchant. Theragor's clearly was to help their friend to find it, but the rest of us were just kind of following along. You know, we're here to scout this area to bring it some I don't know how do I put this? Give me a second.
Civilize it.
Some semblance of the rule of law to a place that has not traditionally had it.
Right.
But you know, what does that have to do with the Temple of Erastil either, right?
Given that that temple seems to be the center of whatever is keeping this place in winter, it seems that there's more going on than perhaps we expected originally. The the Stagbert, uh, he seems rather well funded for a local bandit chieftain.
Yes, that caught my eye once or twice as well. I think we came across something around 175 gold on some of them.
It's not just the gold and the tools, it's the amount of people being supported in a place that doesn't have,
Industry?
forgive my word choice, good pickings for
Well, yeah.
bandits.
Oh,
Trade
but
is
I have an
limited.
answer for
Oleg
that.
and Svetlana told us that already. They're barely hanging on.
Yeah.
And
I
yet
don't
this
know. Good.
and yet they're here, completely happy and well funded and far enough from the rest of the river kingdoms that I wonder quite a bit at how they're managing anything, even with the magic control or whatever it is that this Stagbert is using on his people.
Right. That actually poses a meta question. Wolf, I know I asked in our DMs if there are any towns nearby, and you said there were none. I remember this one person that we talked to in session, the flashback to session one, or like session one, I think. Um, that they were also on a charter going to another place. Were they already like set up and doing things, or was all of these like fresh charters? Like everyone was doing things like starting
The
now.
gentleman you're thinking of is a man by the name of Merger Varn, who was sent to the lands to the east that you would know. That is knowledge that I will provide to you. They
Oh,
were sent out at the same time you were, and they are likely 150 to 200 miles to the east. So they are
okay.
very far away.
Right. So the closest established anything is Brevoy or Restov, right?
Correct.
Okay. All right. So back into RP mode. I mean, I don't even know where they would get this industry for to feed, clothes, house all of these people that the Stag Lord evidently has under his control or employs.
Perhaps there is some
Staggering.
settlement that they have founded that we don't know anything about.
There are portals to the first world, but the Fae are odd, I'd say. I don't know what they would do or want. Obviously, there's something happening, some reason that they're all established. It boggles the mind. I don't know exactly what's going on. I think have any of you ever heard the phrase "greatness is not chosen; it's thrust upon you"?
No, sorry, haven't.
Something close to that, I think. I'm paraphrasing. Uh,
I've heard it.
I think there's a chance for us to all have it thrust upon us. Something to be done here.
Well,
Uh, well, maybe one thing at a time. Certainly, regardless of whether
Right.
this person wants to find out about the Temple of Erastil, Eternal Winter is going to do hell on trying to grow crops around here, so we should probably do
Yes.
something about that.
that
Yes.
is
If
true.
we're going to establish ourselves here at all, we would at least need to deal with this. I think that is within all of our purviews.
And perhaps
Every
I should apologize. Some of my suspicion stems from dealing in the past. I told you of the Dwergar woman who betrayed me and my teacher because she wants to find the location of something that we want. I suppose that makes me suspicious of everyone.
right. It looks like we all have a reason for coming here. May I ask you all of something? Ask you all something. In
Yes.
in the time being, for now, as long as it all behooves us, we're all here for a reason. I think we can all mutually agree that we're gonna help each other out with these things. Like I'm looking for my mentor, Therago, you're looking for this forge. Samir, you're here. I'm not exactly sure. Sorry. We'll pay you, I guess. I don't know. It's fun. You get to beat people up with a horse. And Dennok, you're obviously here for a reason as well. We could all help each other out.
Indeed, I think we've already started on that path.
I'm just trying to make sure that none of us are going to run away. I guess that seems like a bad wording. I don't.
I'm not sure I understand the question. If someone needs help, I don't turn away.
Right. I guess I'm just used to working with less than enthusiastic people. Enthusiastic people. Forgive me. So what are we going to? I feel like I'm talking a lot here. I apologize.
No, 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 no.
Okay.
Don't apologize.
All right. What are we doing with
I
all of this?
well, I think one step at a time. We rest this evening. We gather supplies. In the morning, we set out to find this temple.
Samia, what do you think?
Agreed?
I think that sounds like a plan. This Astrid is going to leave, I suspect, today.
Right.
And provided the Stag Lord, that Stagbert's people don't stop her, she'll make it back to Restov and report in.
The pity.
And hopefully, her and her employer's interest remains as it appears.
Hopefully positive.
Yeah, it's a pity. Certainly, we could have used every capable arm that we have right now.
Right. Um, she did say she worked for a merchant. I wonder if she has any supplies on her. We could do a bit of trading. I guess we could do some trading with Oleg. Maybe he has some stuff as well. About the actual fight, I mean. It seems like we're going against some sort of bear. Do you know, Bethergo, any bear killing spells?
I
I
know that
would kill bear? I don't know.
Power word bear slay.
I do possess a spell called Bear's Endurance.
Ooh.
And Bull's Strength, in case we need to enhance one of our number to face this creature. But no, I do not have any. I am unable to turn bear as I do undead.
Might I suggest large rocks? Very, very
Yeah.
large rock.
Could work. Yes. Yes. Yes.
Turn
I don't.
bear. That's good.
Yes. Roughly the size of the house. That would be most.
Ah. Yes. The mightiest spell there is. Toss a boulder.
Yeah.
Don't know if I could toss something like that, but maybe do a bit
Maybe.
of digging and set it up that we could make it fall.
Anyway.
All I'm saying is that our lives would be much more convenient if our enemies could simply be squashed by a large rock. That's all.
It would be a wonderful world, and everyone would live on very high hills.
Cast unbearable burden. Terrible.
We also call it power word squish.
Our would squish. God. Oh boy, you're giving the Arcanist ideas. Stop. Well then,
I'm distracting myself. A funny thing I did in another game, but anyway.
let's go. I guess get
Yes.
ready.
Agreed.
I'd like to go find Oleg.
Oleg is outside. Eric is just about to end a dancing song. Jode and the woman that you had rescued, Eleonora, are doing some very light, he's got her hands, they're kind of just like dancing around in a circle, and she's smiling. Even the dwarf Argnal, who just did introduce himself, just got to work, is tapping his foot and has his hammer, and he's tapping his hammer to the beat on his palm. And you all enter out as Eric ends his song. The woman, Eleonora, smiles. She sees this man. She sees Ingram, and her smile vanishes, and she takes a few steps back near Eric. Eric looks to her, offers an understanding smile to her, and then gives a curt nod to Ingram, and then leads her back over to the stables. At that point,
So she had a negative
reaction
look
to Ingram. Yeah,
to Ingram. This is the woman that we saved?
correct. If you recall, during one of the previous sessions, she had a very negative reaction to him. Appears that has not fully recovered from that for whatever reason.
Yeah, some of the air has fallen out of Ingram as he notices all this. And
I mean, there's no way we're surprised about that, right?
Shouldn't be.
No.
You performed involuntary surgery on her. There's no way.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, of course, yes. Now I remember.
We shouldn't be surprised. We can still be disappointed, but we shouldn't be surprised.
Yeah.
I'll never tell you how your character should feel, but you shouldn't be surprised.
I feel I saved her life, but okay.
You probably did, but you also
Yeah.
cut her.
Yeah.
I don't know what to tell you.
I failed her. I don't. All right.
Here we are. It is what it is.
Yeah.
Mr. Leviton, I'm sorry to bother you. I know you've been singing and dancing up a storm.
Never a bother, Dennok. What can I do for you?
Yeah, so I have it under good authority that I'm going to need to hunt a very large bear. What do you got that might work on something like that? I mean, I'm talking traps, I'm talking really large volges, stuff like that.
It's possibly a very evil bear, if that helps.
I have a few boar spears, if you think those might be helpful. Before this winter overtook us, I often went hunting for boars. But as far as traps, I am unable to provide you anything, sadly.
So this is a outpost, but you don't exactly have any things for sale.
Fortunately, supplies has been rather thin since they were calling him Stagbert now.
Mm-hmm.
Stagbert has been taxing us.
Understandable.
His wife elbows him. He looks over. She elbows him again. Fine. I do have a few emergency potions I might be able to offer you. I I was saving them in case of a dire emergency, but if you feel this is one, she elbows him again. It seems that this is one. I can provide them to you at no cost.
And in doing so, we would be happy to receive them, and eventually we possibly could replace them as well.
Well, likely there is something you could do. I can't recall if I mentioned it, but there is a man, an alchemist of sorts, who lives just to the southeast of here. His name is Boken, and well, he's a man that even in the dead of this winter could likely find the materials needed to... How do I put this?
Do alchemy?
Do some alchemy, yes. He can turn dead grass into healing potions. He's a bit of a genius, but as much of a genius as he is, he's also batshit fucking insane.
Oh.
I haven't heard from him in several weeks, and usually he stops in at least once a month. It's been a few weeks past his last visit. Well, when he should have made his last visit. His wife, Svetlana. We're fearful that the Stag Lord's men may have, well, gotten to him. If you could check on him when it's convenient, we would be appreciative. And if you find him, if you could convince him to return here, his skills could be of great use to our cause.
Sorry, out of character. Were you saying Svetlana is his wife, or
Yeah, Svetlana.
Oleg's wife.
Yeah.
Oleg's
Oleg,
wife is Svetlana?
Yeah.
She has
not
been
Boken's.
She's been this whole time. She's been Oleg's wife. I know
Yeah, I
Ingram's
think he
distracted. We're just gonna let that slide.
I think he was just like saying it was like Oleg started talking and then Svetlana
Correct.
finished that.
That's what I meant. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oleg's wife, Svetlana, interjects and finishes his sentence.
Okay.
Correct.
At first, I thought Boken had a wife named Svetlana.
No.
I thought maybe they were
That's-
sharing a wife, a
common name.
weird polycule
Yeah.
thing.
That's on me for, I guess, not clarifying. Forgive me.
No, that's fine.
What I'm saying here is, fuck you, Wolf. I'm kidding.
Alright, let me go
Love
ahead
you.
and...
Wow.
Can you give me a reflex save really quick, Ingram?
Yeah.
As a tree is falling on your head.
Natural 20.
You take 47,036 damage.
No, I saved.
Cool.
You
You take
no damage.
23,000, 15 damage. You're dead.
Uno reverse card.
Sorry. You'll
Damn.
clearly see, stated on the page, fuck you, I'm the game master, that you're dead.
Hold on, I got some magic cards here. I'll find a counter spell.
Yeah, I don't play against blue decks for that reason, but I digress. Continue.
Loser. Now that we've wasted 5 minutes.
Well,
We're having fun. It's good.
we'll definitely keep that in mind, and the boar spears too, maybe. Honestly, a couple good strong folks to hold the boar spears might be good, but do you think if we take any people that you'll be okay here? The last time that Stagbird showed up, there were only a few. There might be much more next time.
Creston has been overhearing the conversation, steps forward. I can guarantee the safety of this stronghold, Dennok. I have pledged myself to Olog's protection. Oleg, not Olog, forgive me. Oleg says happens all the time. We will see that they are protected. I suggest you take... what is his name? Eric? I can offer a guard or two of mine. However, I may suggest leaving them here in case this Stagbird does arrive. But between you, Jode, Eric, well, the four of you, and this local you say you found, I have faith that you can overcome whatever obstacle you run into. You've all proven yourselves rather capable, I think.
Does Jode look like he wants to come since we're talking about his temple?
Chomping at the bits like a kid that just found out he's going to Toys R Us and his mom said, I'm writing you a blank check. He's like a giddy schoolgirl.
Well, that, if you don't mind, that evening, or if you don't want to jump to that evening yet.
Unless you all have anything to add, I'm happy to jump to the evening. That's fine.
I did want
No,
to
you
talk.
go ahead. Go ahead.
Go ahead. Yeah.
I wanted to. Sorry, Mimi, did you want to do something?
I wanted to talk to Svetlana at some point.
Sure.
What about you?
Good. I was just gonna talk with the merchant lady before she leaves. That's it.
Svetlana is at some point back at the cook pot. She's preparing something delicious. I see Dennok waving his hand as well.
Oh no, just
Ooh.
testing some things with my camera setup. Ignore
Okay.
me.
All right.
Everything's fine.
Just waving. Hello. Hi. Everybody wave at Dennok. Hi, Dennok. Hi. Nice to see you. You're looking great. All right. Cool.
Aw.
Samia, take it away, please.
Svetlana,
Yes.
you and Oleg coming, but his men have been coming by to take your supplies and whatnot.
They have
Are
been.
there other locations where they can and have been doing that around here?
Well, honestly, Samia, I cannot answer that question fully. My husband and I have mostly kept to the trading post for fear of those very men that have taken from us finding us outside of these walls.
What about before they appeared? Did you have contact with other towns or encampments in this area?
Mostly those that we had contact with were pilgrims or hunters or simple travelers that were making their way into or through the stolen lands. Occasionally we would get a rather large party coming up from one of the other river kingdoms, but these lands they seem to be untamable. I don't say that to dissuade you from proceeding along your course, Samia, but there is more to them that meets the eye. I'm not sure if I'm making sense.
Oh, you are. I'm from the River Kingdoms myself. We've heard stories of this part of the region.
But to answer your question directly, there are no other real towns in these areas. I have heard of, not sure how close you consider close, but there is a burgeoning barony, little alliteration there for you, that is far to the west. I'm trying to remember the name of it. Oleg, dear, what was the name of that barony off to the west? It was past the swamplands, he thinks. I think you're referring to Patax, my love. Yes, I believe they called themselves Patax. But they are several hundred miles away. Not many travelers from there. Some have passed through heading there, but none have come from there.
Too far. I see. How are they managing it then?
How are they managing what?
Stagbird and his men. They should be not thriving. No offense to you and your husband, but if if you and the occasional caravan is all that they can depend on for their banditry, they shouldn't be this big of a problem. Not with how many people we've seen at their campments, not with how skilled and well armed they are.
They
It
have
is-
powerful magic. Maybe that money is coming from further afield?
They're definitely being supplied from somewhere. It deigns
Not-
further investigation.
Not knowing is concerning. If we don't know who or what their patron is, we could be opening a bigger can of worms than we realize. Obviously, they need to go. We just have to be prepared for the follow-up.
I have a question. We keep referring to this Stag Lord as a bandit, but I might be splitting hairs here, but to be a bandit means to be outside of the laws, but there aren't any here. This place is hasn't had any traditional centralized rulership. So is it not just more accurate to say that he's a person who's trying to set up his own small kingdom and trying to tax the locals?
Warlord, it sounds like.
Yes, I think he might have stylized himself as a bandit lord or some such like that to elicit fear, which is useful in this area, but it would be more apt to call him a warlord.
Yeah, and I
His
mean,
in
certainly. I'm sorry, you first.
I realize that you're all northerners. You call this land the Stolen Lands, but it's part of the River Kingdoms if you want to be fully technical about it.
But technically, I'm a Westerner. I come from Absalom. Sorry, continue.
Westerner, as it were. None of you are from this region the way I am. And there are laws here. Few and far
Oh,
between, perhaps. And Stagbert is breaking at least some of them. Oh, he's following some, but not all.
Right. I would be inclined to agree with you, but for laws to work, you would have to, there'd have to be people to enforce them.
Yes, yes, and he's far enough away from the other river kingdoms.
Yes. Hence,
Warlord, bandit king. Either way, he's acting like a bandit king more than a warlord, given what he's attacking.
I think he's a bandit bitch.
If that's the case, then are you not slightly concerned that you have a kind of like a writ from a foreign nation to set their own laws upon this place rather than those of the river kingdoms?
Why do you think I'm here? Part of it is curiosity to see what sort of rules whoever ends up in charge of this kingdom will try to enforce. Besides, no one's in charge here yet.
Ingram looks like he just had a realization that everyone else had long ago.
I mean, sort of. I've only just had it now because Dennok basically only got whatever information they had gave him back in like Restov, which was like, yeah, there's this lawless place down there. Go and expand it for us. And I'm
Right.
like, okay, sure, I can do that. You're paying me? Wow, that's a nice benefit. So yeah.
And he sees this as well on your face and says, "Well, to be the person to say state the obvious, there is, Samia, the option for us to be those people."
Well, yes, we are establishing this charter. As I said to you earlier on, I don't expect this to take more than 10 years of my life.
Country. Hmm. I guess I,
That
I
gives me
just,
plenty of time to see what sort of river kingdom develops here. Even if it's nominally alloyed with Brevoy, Restov, whatever, then it still might be a river kingdom for all that its allies are outside of the other river kingdoms.
huh, I, yeah,
Okay.
okay.
Well, yeah, I have nothing else to add. Uh, I
I'm
think
gonna
it.
go talk to a merchant lady real quick.
Yep, I got what I wanted out of Svetlana, thank you.
she asks you, Samia, to try the stew.
Hmm.
High or low?
Oh no. Let's go with high.
Hi, how are you? Hey,
Yeah.
It's just right, Samia. Perfectly spiced.
Mm, that's good.
I can do a lot with very little, Samia.
Do, 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 do,
Mm.
do, do.
The woman, Astrid, is leaning down, has pet this panther cougar looking cat, large cat. A small cat, but not a house cat. She
Right.
pats its head. It is purring loudly. She looks over and, sees you approach, has her backpack on, looks like she's ready. She's like, "Hey, backpack, what do we see here? A stupid wizard." Just kidding. "Hey, backpack, can you say moron?" Love you, buddy.
Uh, Sure you do. Sure you do. All right. um, Miss Astrid, was it?
It was. It has not changed in the last 15 or so minutes.
Right. So I understand that you are here on the behalf of a merchant. I don't assume you are to be one, correct?
I'm in the employment of Stone Enterprises.
Right.
I suppose you could call me a merchant's assistant if we had to get technical.
Right. So I'm going to get down to brass tacks. I'm looking for supplies to go and clear the temple. I don't think you would have anything on you that'd be of any assistance, would you?
I carry a small assortment of potions, vials, and tonics for my own use. I might be willing to part with them if it would assist you in finding the temple, which is something my employer is very interested in seeing done.
Right. I suppose if you could part with a few things, I would. We'd. It'd be more than helpful.
I wish nothing more and nothing less than to be helpful.
It's a very, very much like I'm not gonna swing first energy here. Love it. I love it. I'm for it. Very well. Lead on.
She takes her backpack off,
Did she not have a cart?
sets it
I thought you,
down.
yeah.
The cat is just watching you. Its whiskers are forward, and it's just watching you, just blinking every so often. Its like nostrils are flaring, and a little bit of like heat, a little bit of steam is coming out of its nostrils as it just watches you. Like, you know how like cats sit with their little paws in front and their tails kind of wrapped around their feetsies,
Yeah,
just
yeah.
watching you like a little kitty cat. It comes up to about your probably like your waist. It's a pretty big
Okay.
cat.
Yeah.
She sets it down. Oleg provides to the rest of the group. He provides 3 potions of Cure Light Wounds, a potion of Cure
Nice.
Moderate, and a potion of Owl's Wisdom. That
Ooh.
may be a benefit.
Nice.
Okay.
It's a +2 to wisdom, right? For like
Yeah,
a
it'd be
little
a
while.
+4 to Wisdom, a +2 to your
Oh.
modifier. Yep, for a minute.
Do
Yep.
we want to hand out those potions or do we want to just dump them in general
I'm
storage?
going to add a little extra, so if you want to just hold on to that thought for a moment.
Okay.
Astrid, before you, has an assortment of different animal potions. So your bear's endurance, bull strength, etc. She is not willing to part with all of them. However, she is willing to part with some of them at cost, meaning she will sell them to you for half of the normal purchase price. I'm going to open this up to the group. She is willing to part with 1 potion each of the buff spells. You may choose which one you would like, and instead of 50 gold, they will cost you 25 gold apiece.
Okay.
And it can be any combination thereof. It can be 4 bull strength, it could be 2 cat's grace, and an eagle splendor, and whatnot. Like, just pick which ones you want. She will part with them. It will cost you a grand total of 100 gold for the 4 of them.
Right.
We have 170 gold in party loot. I'm just gonna delete the 100 part of it.
Sure.
And you
Yeah.
don't have to
I
buy
think
all of them if you
Okay.
don't want.
does
However, if you want them, they are accessible to you at this point.
right.
I will
What is
just
our sorry. What is our main stats here? I'm intelligence. I know Nick's dexterity, Charles's wisdom. Simi, are
strength.
you strength?
Yeah,
Strength? Okay.
strength.
So I think we could buy just like all but charisma, right?
Well, we only
Right.
get 4, so not charisma and not constitution.
Yeah.
I'm
That's-
mildly
Yeah.
concerned about getting deeper into debt.
Well,
We
we're
have
paying for them.
party money that we're
Yeah.
using.
Right.
Yeah.
And I can cast each one of those. So if
Hmm.
if you'd want to, I normally don't have those memorized, but just let me know if you have the need for me to do that.
Right.
I figure we can each take one. We have the party loot right now.
Yeah.
Okay.
We have enough to cover it.
Yeah, I think we get one for each of our main stats.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
She graciously gives them to all of you. there is a small symbol on each of these vials. It is the same symbol as the symbol around her neck. It seems to be the upper jaw of a cat and the eyes. That's how I'm going to
Wait.
describe it. The upper jaw of a cat and the
Oh,
eyes. It
right.
appears to be a maker's mark of some sort.
Detect magic on all of it.
Well, it detects as magic, because they're magic potions. I don't know what to tell you, Ingram.
Is there any, like, is it cursed or, like, tracking magic on it? Or...
Go ahead and roll a spellcraft check. Let's see. You paranoid freak.
You're goddamn right. Spellcraft? 18.
Well, I'll tell you this much. The potions are potions.
Okay.
She sees you cast detect magic. She, like, watches you do it and then says, "Are you worried about their potency?"
No, I'm just being paranoid.
She, like, lightly pets the cat, scritches behind the cat's ear. It yawns.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sorry if I offended you. I don't care, to be honest.
Do I look offended?
No. Concerned, maybe. A little bit peckish. There's some goulash over there if you want some.
I
Back-
just hope there isn't peanuts in this.
He walks away with them.
Backpack on, hood up, whistles, the cat turns, and the pair of them depart into the snowy mist, vanishing into it.
The gods keep you, Astrid.
So I've taken off. It was 100 for all that, right?
I took it off of the party loot. I'm in it. It's fine.
Oh, are you?
Yep.
Oh, okay. People. And then I got a. What's the intellect version of the potion?
Fox's cunning.
Fox's cunning. Yep. It will give a +4 for 1 minute to your base stat as an enchantment bonus. It does not stack with, you know, if you had a belt or a headband. It does not stack. You take the better of either.
Oh, it doesn't. It's not in the. Dang. I wish they had all these items in like the compendium, but.
For the healing potions, did we want to divvy that up or just stick it into the general store?
If you got a Owl's Wisdom, you would have 2 now. Just FYI, because Oleg gave you 1 as well. For free.
Hey.
Because Oleg's not a dirty capitalist.
You mean he's not running a business?
I mean, he is, which is why he likely didn't offer them, and his wife was like, nudge, 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 give them stuff. Fine.
Fine.
I'm just saying, he'll probably make a great treasurer when push comes to shove. Just saying.
Will he?
He's
His
a
wife's
pretty-
telling him to give us free stuff.
Well, that's why she won't
It's
be the
needed right now. I can see it.
it's an investment for the future. An investment in you is an investment in him, and at the end of the day, that's what's
He
most
doesn't want it.
important.
He doesn't want to die.
Oh, Lord have mercy. Lord have mercy. Any other conversations you guys would like to have prior to? I think now is a good time to take a quick 5, like we usually do about halfway through. Use the restroom, grab a drink,
Okay.
and then we can rendezvous back with. Do you have anything else you want to add here at Oleg's Trading Post before we will then move to the next morning and then likely make our way back to Oradora, Pervalash, and then make our way to the temple?
The only thing was that, into the evening, Theragor will go to that back anvil and spend, an hour maybe crafting a piece of metal into something or other as a ritual devotion of thanks to Torag for allowing our plan to go off with, beautifully.
The sound of the hammer on metal catches the attention of Argnal, who will watch you for a moment. He will reach up and finger, like kind of like finger with his hands, like a little bit of a symbol of Torag himself, and look very pleased at what he sees, but won't say anything. And then he himself will also go
Right.
back to work. He's mostly working on
Mm-hmm.
tools, some additional like nails, things like practical things to work on repairing the trading post and strengthening it, as well as minor repairs on some of the guards' weapons and armor as well.
Yes, Theragor thinks he's doing God's work.
He is. Aye,
Yes.
lad,
Yeah.
doing Torag's work or whatever. Anyway, all right, we'll take a quick 5. We'll rendezvous back here afterwards,
Okay.
and we'll pick up with you guys heading back out into the wilderness. I will go ahead and start the timer. I will mute us. Let's
There's good points at every age, you know.
You know what I thought
Right.
I thought I was gonna miss my 20s. I don't.
Uh-huh.
I don't miss my
No.
20s. I love my 30s, man. They've been awesome. 30s
Am
have
Mm-hmm.
I
been
am I
wonderful.
actually the Bambino in this group?
You are the baby bird.
Yes.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
You are the baby bird. Yes, that's
Damn.
true. Well, speaking of baby birds, we pick back up with our group heading
Wookie
out
baby.
from Oleg's. Accompanying you this time is Eric and Jode as well. So you will have some bardic performance. Yay!
Nice.
Bardic performance. Yay! With that being said, you quickly make your way. I'm going to roll one random encounter. Do you want to go through the cursed chest, or do you want to explore this area first?
Let's explore the.
You want to
Yeah.
explore it? I mean, it's kind of on the
Mhm.
way. You're welcome
Yeah.
to do so.
Mhm.
All right.
Before we go further, how many potions of what did we get?
Did anyone write it down?
We got a intellect. We got a wisdom.
No,
We've
the
got
healing potions.
3 light and 1 moderate,
Correct.
Thank
I
you.
believe. Also one other thing. Um, I would have gone through like any like small library that Oleg might have had any books or anything. Did he have anything? He's ran out of reading materials, Ingram, and he's looking for more.
Sure. You find an old book on, I don't
If
know,
there's like a book about the gods or something
animal
like that.
husbandry.
Okay,
How
sure.
like the proper way to raise pigs.
As something at this point, I guess.
This cat is very angry and is biting me because I'm petting his butt and he doesn't like his butt pet.
Oh, you get the boy. Oh, get him. Get him.
I love you, Tesla. He's old. He's like 14 or 15, and he's so
Oh, wow.
grumpy, but also very affectionate.
I know. I love it when they get that
So,
affection.
exploring this particular hex, you all actually find an old cobblestone road that is just beneath the surface of the snow. It appears to be in very good shape, and Theragor, you would notice that it appears to be of Dwarven make.
Mm.
When we get to the kingdom building phase of our adventure, this will give you a free road through this particular hex.
Ah, nice.
Yeah, and roads definitely help with the economy.
Mhm.
Samia remembers that. Other than that, though, you do make your way through this hex. Let me go ahead and mark 1, 2. So it's been about 3 days. So 1 day back, you spent the night, you left another day. It's been 2 days. This is the dawn of the 3rd day. You go back to where you found Pervalash's fairy circle. Pervalash and Oradora are sitting in the fairy circle and seem, well, in good health. They likely have had some food. When you arrive, Pervalash is telling a story to Oradora of how he one time slew a black dragon with nothing more than his butterfly wings. He tickled it to death. Oradora is laughing brightly, although it does not seem she believes his story. She rises, greeting everyone. Ah, you have all returned, and with others. Hello there. Jode nods. Eric looks a little nervous and uncomfortable, but also nods.
Theragor has before this warned them that these are Fae, and they're not to be entirely trusted.
Eric looks like he doesn't entirely trust them. Jode looks intrigued when he sees the holy symbol on Oradora's neck,
Right,
and
yes.
makes his eyes go directly to boop the holy symbol. He's like, starts asking questions, and they will have a conversation. Are you a priestess? She's like, no, I simply found it. It was actually a gift, I should say. I found someone who gave it to me as a gift. And he's like, who was it? And they go back and forth, just having a... He's just talking her ear off, and she seems a little overwhelmed by it, but otherwise allows it to happen. Unless you have any specific conversation you'd like to have with these folks, we may proceed forward towards...
That sounds good.
the address. All right.
Max
I think we
speed.
should go forward before I lose my nerve.
I like where your mind's at. All righty then.
Oh,
Doop. So, as you enter into this particular part of the woods, the forest itself starts to seem like you ever get deja vu? Everyone has. Different trees, different bushes, different branches, even the way the snow falls, every so often, you feel like I've seen that tree before. I've seen that outcrop. I've seen that bush. And it almost seems like you're walking in circles, or that you're walking next to one of those old movie projectors where they had like a scene going by but the car wasn't moving, so it would repeat
Mm-hmm.
itself every so often.
Mm-hmm.
You feel like the forest itself is resisting your movement forward.
Hmm.
As you make your way forward, though, every so often, Oradora leans down, digs into the snow, picks up a small bit of dirt, and like breathes it in. She like breathes it in, blows it out, and watches where the dirt falls. Even though she blows forward, the dirt does not always go forward. Occasionally it turns slightly to the right or to the left. And every quarter of a mile or so, she does this little ritual. And as time goes on, an hour passes, another hour, it is a solid 6 hours of this quarter mile, lean down, pick up the dirt, breathe, pick up the dirt, until eventually you come to what looks to be an archway made of trees. You look forward down this path, which is surprisingly, perhaps, not covered in snow. The path is protected by the interwoven branches and looks to be a tree archway that goes forward hundreds of feet in the north, south, east, west. It's hard to tell. You're feeling somewhat spun around. But as you look forward, you can see a few hundred feet up ahead what appears to be a massive amphitheater.
Mm.
Well, says Oradora, we have finally arrived. She looks exhausted in this moment, as though this ritual she's been performing has taken much out of her to get to this point.
Do you need to rest?
No, no, I don't.
I don't. Why is it so well hidden? You'd think that a place of worship you would want people to find.
Uh, I want to note that Ingram will take steps to remember and watch this ritual just to as it's magic. He likes this. Yes.
Sure. It was hidden. Because, well, it was hidden, Dennok, because the lady feared that it might be used, unfortunately, in the way that it is being used, to harm this land, instead of protect it, instead of to nurture it. It is my hope if we can cleanse it of the evil that grips it, we can open up once again to pilgrims and those of good spirit and good heart.
Is this guardian near?
There is a low rumbling growl that echoes down the tree archway.
So we're at the entrance to the temple.
Yes.
Okay.
Stomp, 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 and this echoing,
Right.
heavy footfalls down.
Oh, bloody
Well,
stars.
I suppose that's my answer.
As you all prepare to make your way down the passageway, Oradora stumbles slightly. Pervalash goes to her shoulder and like gently kind of caresses her cheek. She smiles up at the little dragon. It's one of the first times you've seen him show something more than perhaps just playful mischief. There is definitely a bit of care in his little dragon-like expression. She pulls herself together, steps up, and the bunch of you begin your journey down this passageway, Oops, I didn't mean to do that.
I get the feeling that this is going to go rather quickly, especially given how loud that thing was. It must be quite near. So I am actually going to take that potion of Cat's Grace, and I am going to drink it.
As you go to drink it, you all are, let's say, about halfway down this walkway, this archway made of trees. Think of like a covered a covered road where the trees have grown over and they've cut out the trees to be like an arch. That's the way I'd like you to envision it, if you don't mind. As you are moving forward, though, you notice that the branches around you are starting to clink and clatter together, even though there is no real there's no real aggressive breeze right now. And you watch as about 30 feet in front of your band, the branches actually move together and begin to intertwine. There is a creaking and groaning of branches. There is this clattering, like branches knocking together, like taking two sticks. And as it does so, leaves begin to sprout along these otherwise dead and winter-gripped branches. Before your eyes, a visage appears. It looks to be lips made of leaves, eyes, a nose, and a very soft, yet very weak, almost painful expression upon this leafy visage before you. Oradora's eyes go wide, and she drops to her knees and... Is it prostrate? Prostrate? How do you say that word? Will you
Yeah.
prostrate?
Prostrate yourself.
She prostrates herself before this visage before you. My lady, I did not expect you here. Even Pervilash bows his head as well. I'll give you all a moment to react as you see fit.
What
also
came
bow
through?
in respect.
What is it? What is it? Is a figure?
A face made
A
of
face.
branches, leaves, that has blocked your path forward. It's about 30 feet in front of you.
Okay. Detect magic. I love
Ah,
this spell, dude. Like, come on.
give me a will save.
You got it, buddy. That's a 12.
Cool. You are blinded for the next 3 rounds as you see an overwhelming amount of magic. It is so quickly, it is literally like someone took a high-powered light and flicked it on right in your face, and you instinctually recoil back from it with how bright it is.
Yeah.
It is like seeing the face of God, is the best way I could describe it. The leaves rustle. I want to give everyone else a moment as well. So that's what Ingram does. Theragor bows. Dennok and Smia, what do you guys do?
Mia's gonna stay quiet and hope that whatever this is does not take offense or notice.
Strong. Dennok?
I think I just like lock eyes with it and stare, and then quietly step forward.
The leaves rustle, and the expression, though pained, forces a smile in the leaves. The leaf lips, I should call it. It does appear you have heard my call. And so you have come. But I question and I wonder. The leaves rustle. The branches clatter. Do you come of your own volition? Or have you been forced here? Perhaps that is a foolish question that I ask you. But yet, I still require an answer.
No one has forced me to do anything.
The leaves pay no attention to Theragor. It seems the question was likely directed at Dennok, but I think Theragor still would have said something, and I like that.
Yes, yeah.
As he speaks, Oradora looks up and just looks like terrified that he spoke, and then her eyes go back down to the ground. Jode is just like, got this fascinated look on his face, and Eric is currently hiding behind Jode.
I came because I was called. Because to do otherwise seemed rude.
The leaves rustle in what could only be considered and interpreted as like a pleased rustling.
I don't speak Leaf, I don't know.
Okay. It would indeed have been considered rude. Yet I have tried to call others before, and none have answered that call. Only you. And I wonder, what is to become of you? The leaves begin to rustle again in what can only be interpreted now as pain. Oradora looks up and says, "My lady, you are not strong enough for this. Please, please do not force this upon yourself." The leaves rustle again in what almost seems like a slight amount of annoyance. "Fear not, daughter of the trees. I use what power I have to give this offer. Prove yourself here. Prove yourself here. And I may have true use for you." And without a moment's notice, the leaves break apart, the branches go back to where they were, and the visage before you disappears. Oradora has tears in her eyes, as though she has seen something that has mystified her beyond belief.
Daragor is looking at Dennok.
He's kind of whispering to himself. It's like a nursery rhyme. And he just kind of like has this like wan smile and he says, "I won't know until I find out, will I?"
This guardian, this bear, is it something that we should destroy? Or is it something that is corrupted and we must cure?
He is beyond. It is beyond redemption. Its heart has been turned black. It will be a kindness to put it down.
Father. As Ingram touches his chest, casts a spell, he casts his mage armor on himself. Let's go.
Beautiful. And as you move down, you break through the end of the tunnel, this archway, and you find yourselves at the temple. In the center of the... Huh?
Sorry, I don't mean to interrupt. But
You're good.
as I step out of the arch, I basically stop and say, "Who are you?"
Hey, what's that?
That doesn't look like a bear to me.
Fuck
So,
is that shit?
what you see before you is a giant writhing mass of black tendrils that are creeping out of this nasty, befouled pool of water and are creeping into the ground. They pulsate with veiny, dark red veins, I suppose is the best way to describe it. And rising up at the other side is a giant, nasty-looking bear. This thing is enormous. It's 7-foot tall crustacean from the Paleolithic era. Said I need about a 350. Just kidding. With that being said, nobody laughed. Wow, that was for me.
Oh, no,
Thank
I
you.
laughed on the inside.
Shut up. No, you didn't. Don't placate me. All right. I hate you. It's good. No, I hate myself. With that being said, you see that this creature has similar black veins, and where its heart should be is a mirrored image of this pulsating black, writhing mass of tendrils that is coming out of this befouled pool of water. Oradora looks over at the bear, a look of sadness and pain on her face. She whispers, "I'm sorry, my friend, but we will end your pain soon." Let's go ahead and roll initiative, boys and girls.
Yeah.
So the thing in the water looks like something that we have to defeat also?
That's a great question. You're not sure. But it looks scary, I'll tell you that
That
much.
sounds like a question for you or the wizard, honestly.
Black evil thing. I don't know. Kill it. Who knows? I'm gonna be dead soon, anyways.
Ideally.
Yeah.
Oh, that was a
Oh, wait.
quick,
The tendrils of evil.
Okay, so whatever it is, it has,
I'm not going to assume
Fucking
it's...
Cleric, do something positive about that. Positive damage, please. Someone.
I'm not
Matt-
going to assume its motivations. It could just be hungry.
Yes. Hungry tentacles are good.
It could just be hungry. You're not wrong. Beautiful. Can't argue
Stop
with that. That's wonderful. All right.
I just wanted to be noted that Ingram is fighting the nagging feeling that he should just run right now.
Yeah, I mean, he is a coward, so that makes sense.
Wow.
Look, man, you started this shit tonight, all right? I'm just going to be the one that ends it, okay?
Okay.
Love you, bud. All right, is everyone in the initiative?
Maybe.
yeah.
Right. Jode.
Jode, good job.
Jode is going to
Jeez.
grip his holy symbol. He says, "By the light of Arastil, all the staghorns, Arastil, bless us!" He will cast Bless on the party.
Nice.
Thank you.
And then he will use his move action to draw his composite longbow and get ready to fire. Oradora turns towards Dennok. Her hand begins to glow with like a brown and green energy, and she reaches out, and as long as he allows it, grips his shoulder, and is going to grant you the benefits of Barkskin.
Neat.
Well, that's pretty neat. That is going to give
Quite
you
cool.
a +2 bonus to your natural armor for the most of this combat. Actually, 10 minutes per level, so likely the entirety of this combat. Samia, you're up next.
Yeah, sorry, I'm checking something. My computer decided to change what window I was looking at.
To crap out, crippity crap.
Nope, it's working. It just changed my windows around when I wanted to look at something.
That's unfortunate.
All right. I am going to use a swift action to declare challenge on the bear, I guess. Which doesn't affect the bear, it just affects me and my damage output, it looks like.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
gonna do that, and then
I bet the bear's talking shit in bear.
that's nice. I'm gonna move. Try and avoid the tentacles as I go.
They reach out towards you, but it's very like passive. Like you move past,
Cool.
they sort of reach out and then they burrow themselves into the ground. The ground sort of pulsates a little bit as they do so. Give me a
I think-
perception check as you get to there, please.
Okay.
Accurate, Nick. 100% accurate. Great gift.
15.
15? You notice that right in front of you here, you see sort of just beneath the surface a little writhing tendril sticking out. Probably avoid that. As you look around, you notice there are a few other spots where there are little writhing tendrils.
I'm gonna yell out a warning to everyone else about that.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Surely there's nothing wrong about that. Surely, right?
Okay, so it took me a double move to get there, which is fine.
Love it.
Oh, I don't like that. Oh, that's okay, that's not Charlie. Cool.
Hmm?
It's like, what are those arrows going past me?
Calm down.
Sorry,
Everything's fine.
yeah.
Nope, it's fine. It's not me. Alright, that's my turn.
Okay, Dennok.
Dennok will drink the potion of cat's grace as a standard action,
Hmm.
and kind of just go, oh bloody hell. Move action will draw forth his curb blade and simply say, I don't even know if I would just say anything. I just kind of move into the danger zone and hope.
Ah, you move towards the
Oh,
black
hell.
tendrils. I love where
Boy.
your mind's at. Brilliant. Eric begins a very upbeat, uplifting, Inspire Courage. Everyone may activate Inspire Courage on their character sheets, and he's singing a song of not getting ripped apart by black tendrils.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the
would be
song he's
nice.
singing. It's good.
Yeah.
It's good.
We also had Bless as well.
You do
Yes.
have Bless as
Favorite
well.
song.
Faragor. He's like, all right, and then they charged forward and weren't ripped apart by black tendrils of death. I hope that we don't die, but I'm not convinced that we won't. All right.
I'm trying to remember. Is my move 25 or 20?
20. You are a
20.
dwarf.
That's
But
right.
you are never slowed down
All
by
right.
encumbrance. Because you are a dwarf.
So, he's just going to have his weapon ready, and he's going to move forward. Let's see. 5, 10, 15, 20. But he can he double move if that's all he does?
Absolutely. You can also take the run action and move up to times 4 your speed. If you move in a straight line.
I
That
think
should be
this is
fine.
fine.
Okay.
Right here.
The Temple Guardian. The Temple Guardian roars loudly, a billowing, tree-shaking, stone-rattling roar. I need everyone to give me a quick will save.
Ooh.
Just run.
Sorry, will save.
Damn,
Yeah.
Samia, coming out swinging.
Yeah, I've got one more. Yeah, that's what I was afraid of.
Oh, Jodis. Oh boy. All right, Oradora.
I hope I saved.
Good. Eric with his ever impressive fails. All right. Everyone that rolled less than a 15 is shaken. Shaken for the next 1d4 rounds. You are shaken for 3 rounds.
Remind me what that means again, please.
-2. You have a shaken condition on your character
Oh,
sheet.
cool. Thank
It's
you.
a -2 to like attacks, saves, etc. You are just a little nervous by
Oh,
this.
I'm
Old bear.
glad I was blessed.
This is a fear effect, so you do get a +1.
Oh,
Yes.
hang on. Does that affect me or just me or?
That should just affect the horse.
No, it's I have something that gives bonuses. Never mind. It wouldn't be enough even if it
Bear
affects him.
rushes forward, knocking some stones away. The
Mm.
black area where its heart should be, where you can see bits of rib cage, almost like its rib cage has been like burst open, and there's this black oozy tendrils writhing out of its chest. It roars again. The temple must defend the temple from interlopers. Rip and tear, shred and crush. Ingram. That's great, Dennok. Dennok, thank you.
I am going to. Oh, it moved closer. Yay. I'm gonna move. Right. How far was 30 feet? Right there. Yeah, right there. Okay. So right there. I'm gonna move there, and I'm gonna cast magic missile on the scary bear guy.
Okay.
It's just within range. It's closer in range now, I believe.
I'm pretty
'Cause,
sure
yeah, it's
magic
80.
missile's long range, but I could
It
be
is.
wrong.
It
So
is.
it's like several hundred feet usually.
Yeah. So I'm gonna get two 1d4
You
bolts.
forgot to put brackets around your damage. Tisk, tisk, tisk.
What? How is that possible? Oh my god.
You forgot to put a +1 in there, buddy.
I don't know what's going on. Here.
Just roll. There you go. So
For
6 damage
6.
total. So 2 magic missiles burn into this bear. It roars, mildly inconvenienced by those magic missiles, but I like where your mind's at.
Pass my turn.
The tendrils of evil,
Mm.
with a huge orange glowing circle,
my
begin to
God.
lash out towards Dennok. They also lash out towards Ingram. They lash out at Theragor as well. And luckily, Samia is just out of range. Luckily. Alright, here's the attack on Dennok. Probably not a hit. The attack on Ingram. Probably a hit. The attack on Theragor. Probably a miss. A tendril lashes out and attempts to slam into you, my good friend. You take a whopping 9 points of damage, Ingram, and the tendril attempts to grapple you. What's your CMD,
Oh.
baby bird?
Mm.
You're grappled.
Oh my god.
Sure.
And it pulls you forward towards the sickly water. What was your CMD, by the way?
12.
3. Pulls you forward 15 feet, trying to pull you into the water, and a tendril is wrapped around your midsection. That probably feels great.
Okay, that worked.
That works very well.
Yeah.
You don't need to make an attack, though, on it. It's an auto hit.
I don't.
You're fine. You're good. Jode's like, oh shit, and we'll move over to here. He is going to start shooting at the writhing mass of tendrils. He's going to make an attack. That's a hit. 8 plus 2 for 9 damage on the tendrils. There is a screeching noise that is echoes from the middle of the tendrils, and the bear also groans in pain as well as the tendrils are hit. Appears that hurting the tendrils also hurts the bear. Interesting. Oradora is going to move over to Theragor and is going to touch him and give him the benefits of Barkskin. So +2 natural armor for the remainder of this combat.
Nice, thank you.
Samia, what would you like to do?
Okay, I'm going to charge the bear.
You do
Because
know
that seems like
that will
it's-
provoke an attack of opportunity, as it does have reach.
What's its reach? 15 feet?
I don't think there's any way around it.
Yeah, that's life.
It is what it
I
is,
have
right?
I have better AC against it because I challenged it. It's fine.
I believe.
So
21?
What's my AC right now is I think that just hits, yeah.
It lashes out, biting you for 18 damage. Ka-chomp. Ka-chomp. That hurts.
Okay.
But you do get to attack it.
Yep.
Defilers, interlopers, blasphemers. 30
so
damage?
no, it's more because of challenge, I think.
Ooh.
AC +1. Nope, sorry. I lied. That's not what my order gives me. Okay. Nope, it does say extra damage equal to my level, so plus an additional 3, so 33 damage total.
The lance buries itself into the creature's side. A spout of black ooey goo spits out in your direction. Give me a reflex save, please.
Oh, come on.
No. You're good. You don't get splattered with nasty black ooze. That's
And
probably good. I didn't need the horse to do it.
okay, cool. Cool. Never mind then. Ignore that.
You know what? I'm not going to. The
Yeah,
horse,
no, ignore that.
The
Ignore
horse
that.
is covered in goo and smells bad. Ha!
Oh,
Could have just ignored it.
No,
it's
I
very
refuse.
different from usual.
The dice have a story to tell, and you chose them for them to tell it. It is what it is. Dennok, you're up.
Dennok basically
Dennok. Not Dennok,
starts
Dennok.
to swing his sword at tendrils. I'm unclear if I'm actually in base contact or not.
You
if I
absolutely
should be
are.
moving them.
You absolutely are.
Okay. And I was trying to think about what this actually is like because I fight with dexterity and not with strength. So it's more like the blade is making its own path, and he's just trying to move it to be within that path rather than like striking directly at things. So I am going to attempt to guide my blade through those tendrils that are grappling Ingram.
Don't worry about me.
That is a hit for 15. Ingram, you are released from the tendrils as Dennok manages to slice off a large chunk of tendril, and you drop to the ground on your feet. The bear roars in pain as the tendrils are damaged and proceeds to roar, "No! No blasphemers, defilers!" Eric hides further behind this rock and continues to sing his Please Don't Die song. Theragor.
Theragor rushes up 5, 10, 15 behind Ingram and claps a hand upon his back, casting Cure Light Wounds.
Are you casting defensively?
Otherwise we get an attack.
The tendrils will lash out at you, yes. Also, moving to there will provoke from them, likely.
Well, then I will move defensively and cast defensively.
Okay.
No,
Your
yes,
AC
yes.
right now is a 19 because you're
19,
plus 2,
that's right.
so that is a miss. So you may cast the spell unaccosted.
All right, yes.
Beautifully done, sir. Beautifully done.
So let's see. Did that do correctly?
You didn't put the brackets in there. Roll me a d8 plus. What are you guys, level 3 now? Level 20? I
Yeah.
can't remember.
Level
20?
5.
Level 20?
Level 20?
No.
I'll take level 5 though.
That's a hard no for me, Bob.
That's right.
Beautiful. 8 HP back to you, Ingram. As a move action, a standard, the Temple Bear ignores Samia, charges forward, and rears up and places its paws into the pool. The nasty, murky water seems to travel up its arms, and it roars, "Rustil, heal me!" The tendrils lance out, going into him, and it seems like some of his wounds are healing, but in a weird, fucked up way. He looks a little better.
Fuck.
And it was calling out to Erastil.
It was. That's sad. That is its turn. Ingram, your go.
Yes. I think that should be good enough. Ingram is going to look at Theragor and look around and this is fuck you. What am I doing again? Right. I'm going to dimensional slide. I'm gonna just shunt into the ground and pop up like 30 feet away, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, like popping up out of the ground as well.
Cool.
He's gonna put his hands together and like weave a rainbow, like threads of rainbow, and cast color spray.
Beautiful. You casting defensively?
That is a concentration check, right?
That is equal to
I would have to
15
do
plus double the spell level.
So
DC 17. Yep.
Or I provoke a attack of opportunity if I fail, or just don't do it.
If you do the defensively and you fail, the spell doesn't go off. If you do defensively and succeed, the spell goes off. If you don't do it, the spell goes off. But if they hit you, then you have to make a concentration check anyway. That's equal to the damage dealt plus 15.
Okay, so I will attempt to cast defensively.
That's the smart idea. Yeah, that's the best choice. I agree.
Concentration check. I get a +2 to this.
You should have much more than a +2.
Well, from a trait. My bad.
So that's a 13. Unfortunately, that fails me. The spell does not go off, but you do not provoke.
I will re-roll it using my once per day.
Using your cheating dice. Got it. Okay.
Yes. Well, it's a trait.
Yeah, okay.
Hey, there we go. 20.
It succeeds, and it goes off. A spray of color goes towards him.
Yes, depending on his hit dice, it does things.
Yes, depending on its hit dice, it does do things. As it hits him, the bear looks down at the color spray and just growls at you. It appears to have had no effect on him.
What? Okay. All right, nothing I can do. Enter.
It's gonna make a will save. I'm just fucking with you, man. It can actually affect it.
Okay. Look, man, this is like my first actual Pathfinder
I like to
campaign.
fuck with you, Ingram, because it's your first time being in a campaign for more than just like the end. So let me go ahead and make his will save.
Okay.
He succeeds. Your DC's definitely not right either.
What?
We'll fix it. We'll fix it later. Get with me after session. We'll fix your stuff.
It's 14. No, it's 15. Why does it say 11 on there?
I don't know, baby bird. We'll figure it out later.
Right.
Next up are the Tendrils of Evil. They are, as of last time, going to lance out. First attack against Dennok. Next attack against Ingram. Next attack against Theragor. Ooh!
Oh, it hits Theragor.
Does not confirm, but it does deal. And it will attempt to grapple you. 15 does not grapple you. At the same time, these tendrils move 10 feet. These tendrils move 10 feet. These tendrils move 10 feet. And they seem to be like slippering and sliding along the ground.
I don't like that.
That's fun. Alright.
Hey, I have reach. These ones just moved into...
Did they move into or through your threatened square?
Oh, into. Yeah.
Fair enough.
Ew.
Jode is going to rapid shot into this giant tendril monster. Go Jode. Hey, look at that!
Was I hit by the tendrils?
You were not. It rolled a 5. He will deal 16 damage to the tendrils. That's better than a kick of the teeth. The bear also roars in pain at that. Oradora looks pretty nervous, sees the tendrils moving towards her, and is going to pick up a stick and is going to say, "Shillelagh!" And the stick grows a little bigger and looks a little more powerful than a regular stick. And then she's going to ready herself as that tendrils are getting closer. Samia.
Yeah. I'm gonna try and stab the bear, I guess.
Strong choice. Oof.
I am not gonna stab the bear.
Oh. Roll to confirm. You hate to see it. Please don't confirm.
I better not confirm
stab
with
it.
that.
It hits, but it does not pierce its thick hide, unfortunately.
Yeah, well, as long as we're here, Dennok
yes.
is going to bite it.
That is a clippity clop. Did you mean to hit your lance again?
What? No.
Okay. Give me a bite attack from the horse, Winnie. Unfortunate. Unfortunate. It cannot. It only gets nasty, moldy fur. Dennok. 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 Dennok.
Well, that's a description I'm so happy to have heard. I will
Moldy hair.
continue my. Oh my gosh, there's not enough room here with this giant deck in the way. I want to try and basically make my way toward the core of this thing, if that's possible.
You want to get into the water?
Do I think that does it look deep enough that would actually like?
You're not going to
Make it
drown,
harder.
but I want to tell you this looks like the most putrid, nasty water you've ever seen in your life.
All right, fine. Just then in that case,
I am
if-
not going to
if
stop
the-
you as game master. You do you.
Nope, but
it
if
looks
the
and smells
gods
terrible.
of good taste, if the gods of good taste are suggesting that I do not want to filthify myself, then who am I to argue? I will continue to sliceify at tentacles and tendrils.
That's a solid blow for 20. You slice a tendril, then you slice another one, and you turn into Blade in Blade 3. Just you see tendrils flying everywhere.
That is a critical threat. I don't know why I didn't.
That is a 15 on the die. Is your critical threat 15?
Oh, yeah, no, sorry, I'm.
It's a
misread.
very common confusion. The 18 at the top next to CS means it's critical strike 18 or greater.
Oh,
and then
okay.
the actual
yeah,
die
I
is
see
in the
now. It's like,
parentheses
that's
at the
weird.
bottom.
Why did that? Yeah, it's like, why am I seeing an 18 there?
Happens
Yeah,
all the
mean-
time. All the time, man. No trouble whatsoever. But that is a solid 20. As that happens, the tendrils recoil back towards the center of the pool. This tendril, this tendril, this tendril, and that other tendril sink back into the ground. And this creature, whatever it is, appears to have gone like into a cocoon almost. Like it disappears under the surface of the water. And the bear lets out a horrible, angry growl. Oradora shouts, "We have to end him! End him! End him now!"
Trying.
Eric is going, "I don't want to die. This is really scary." There we go.
Then end him we shall. And Dergor casts a spiritual weapon.
Ooh.
And we'll make it appear, I guess, right here.
Nice. All right, hold on one second. I have Conjured Blade. Here you are. You want it right there?
Okay, thank you.
Go ahead and give this control to Charles. You now have control of that spiritual blade.
All
I'll even
right.
zoom in a little bit. Look at that.
And does it, do I just roll the die beside the spell for it to attack?
No, you would have to just make a generic attack roll, which is
Okay.
based off, I believe, a d20 plus your wisdom. I haven't cast spiritual weapon
Okay.
forever.
Sure, let's see.
If you just want to.
So my wisdom is 4.
Hmm?
So let's see here. Oh, and plus I have the what buffs do I have? Oh no, but that won't count.
Not
towards
to the weapon, no.
You're right. Okay.
That is an 18. That is a hit. You may deal damage.
All right, and I do believe it deals 1d8.
Are you looking at a physical book? Because I love you.
Yeah, I know.
That's
Why am I doing that?
Amazing. My immersion has never been more immersive than right now.
All I have to do is click right here. I already had it up.
It's fine. No, look at the book,
One
man.
day-
That was beautiful, man.
one
That's what
day-
it's all about. That's beautiful. No. That's good, man. That's awesome.
So,
Not a critique by any means. It was a compliment.
so here we go. 9
Hoo,
points.
hoo, hoo, hoo. The bear is roaring. It is bleeding nasty black ichor. Oradora is shouting to put it out of its misery, but at the same time, she is weeping.
And I will move up here. And
The Temple Guardian is going to lash out very angrily. A bite and 2 claws. The first bite goes to Samia. Yikes.
Yeah, that'll hit for some reason.
23 damage. Holy fuck.
I drop.
It lances out,
Oh my
bites her,
goodness.
picks her up, shakes her like a dog with a rabbit,
Oh,
and then
shit.
throws her to the ground with a sickening crunch.
oh,
She is unconscious on the ground and bleeding. Holy fuck.
oh, I've been checking Samia's hit points, but I think I've been clicking on the horse instead. I'm sorry.
You're gonna end up like right. Actually, you'll end up right here, closer to your allies. How's that sound? It is then
Okay,
gonna
cool.
lash out at Ingram with 2 claw attacks, just roaring. Must defend the temple, the interlopers, blasphemers, die! And it's just like a half roar, half yell, half voice. It's a whole thing. Claw and claw. Ooh, the 1 claw gets in.
Yeah, that one's a miss.
You get hit for 11 damage,
What?
Ingram. 11 damage. And it's going to attempt to grapple you with its claw.
10 HP.
19 against your CMD.
My CMD is
Dog shit.
12.
Well,
Yeah, dog shit. I'm a
boop,
I'm a
pulls
cat.
you in and pulls you close. Looks like it's ready to bite your head off next round. Speaking
Okay.
of biting heads off, Ingram.
Or
you're up.
hug you.
Or give you a hug and send you on
Yeah.
your way with
Yeah.
some
Yeah.
Bear Scout cookies. Probably not.
Ingram's gonna look around and like scout his options, and he's gonna look at the bear and try and hope that it understands what it says.
Mhm.
I'm sorry, you've been misled. Dimensional slide. I'm gonna pop over here. That was 1 to do the dimensional slide. Then I'm gonna use another to cast Cure Light Wounds.
Cool. Are you casting defensively?
Oh, it's within range, isn't it?
Oh
Okay.
yeah.
100%,
Oh, yeah, bud.
baby bird.
Um,
oh yeah, there, bud. You're well in
oh,
range
yeah.
of that attack there. Yeah, don't you know?
Oh,
You want to get eaten by a bear?
Sure. This was the plan all along. All concentration check here. Is 17. Hey.
That's what we love
Get
to
it.
see. The dice not trying to kill you.
I know, right? I'm gonna cure light wounds. Maybe this will work. 9.
Looks
Right.
good to me.
Thank you. Yep, I'm up.
Yeah,
Or
because it's plus
awake
3
at
now.
least.
It's plus 3 now because I'm level 3, right?
The tendrils start to pulsate, like maybe they're trying to regrow, but they don't this round. Jode is like shit. He is going to move with great haste over to here and get ready to channel positive energy. Oradora was ready to fight that thing. She is now looking over at Dennok. She looks around. She has her shillelagh. She is going to simply move over to here with a double move and get ready to try and fight the bear as well. Samia.
If I stand up, does that provoke an attack of opportunity? I can't remember in
Gosh
Pathfinder.
darn tootin' it does.
Yeah.
Fuck.
I knew that. I knew that. I knew
Fuck.
standing up does that.
That was so visceral from you.
I got
Samia.
so used to 5e where it doesn't.
I know.
It does not.
I know.
If I stand up, I'm gonna die, but if I stay put, I'm probably gonna die too.
Look. Probably. Yeah. More than
I'm gonna
Can't you-
stand up.
Can you crawl?
Well,
Can you
You
crawl
know
away?
they say about bears, you can play dead and
If I crawl
Maybe
away,
they'll
it
ignore
will
you.
attack me.
You're not
and
wrong.
I will
Dennok.
die.
Of
You're not
course.
wrong.
Of course.
So I'm
This
gonna-
Pathfinder's easy.
So I'm gonna stand up.
Are you sure?
No,
Do you really want to stand up?
no, no. I do not want to stand up.
So you're not standing up.
Nope.
You can attack from the ground. You just take a -4.
I
You could just grab your lance and just
Yeah,
shove it up
I
into the
will-
thing's gut. I mean,
will do that. This is at a -4.
correct.
So yeah,
It
that's
it clinks off,
garbage.
and now it knows you're alive.
Yeah, well, Dennok is going to bite it, hopefully.
Does he have hoof attacks too?
Oh, he does, yeah. He's not moving, so he gets, what, 1 bite, 2 hooves?
Correct. You got it.
That's
Miss. It's miss. That's a hit for 3. It's looking pretty wounded. It's looking pretty wounded. It's wavering. The black heart that's in its chest is slowing down. Dennok.
Dennok sees the bear like going to town and just like, oh shit. And even though he knows it's going to be putting him in threat, he is going to charge the bear.
It will make an attack of opportunity.
I mean, yeah. Ooh.
It will deal 13 damage to you as it snaps down, but you manage to push past it.
Alright, so rolling an attack at +2.
Oh! Oh, I wish it would have confirmed. I wish it would have confirmed. That would have been amazing.
well.
Because not only would you have killed it, you would have super killed it. As Dennok rushes forward, we watch as Samia takes her lance and jabs it into its side. It doesn't seem to do any damage, but it distracts it enough for Dennok to come rushing forward and just move his blade across the creature's neck. The neck opens up wide, a roar turns into a gurgle as the creature slumps forward into the pool of nasty, murky water. There is a shrieking sound from the black tendrils, like, I don't know, Furbies being melted is the best way I can
Wow.
describe it. Just and the tendrils sink back down into the pool, and then there is a single bubble that goes bloop and pops up in front. The bear begins to shrink down and down and down and down. And as it shrinks down, it turns not into a bear, but into the body of a older, bearded-looking man. His neck is open, but he smiles. He looks up with gratitude at Dennok and mouths the words, "Thank you," as his body begins to quickly rot away, very similar to like the portrait of Dorian Gray when he sees his portrait and the years catch up to him, leaving behind naught but bones, a cloak, a ring, and a small amulet of Erastil.
Theragor is going to rush up to Samia and lay his hands upon her and cast Cure Moderate Wounds.
There is a moment, a beat, as you cast your spell. The nasty black murky water of the central pool begins to bubble like it's boiling, and there is a nasty black, green, and gray mist that rises up and dissipates into the air. After about 30 seconds of this bubbling and hissing, the pool now radiates crystal clear, almost like a crystal clear pool of very faintly sweet-smelling water. Oradora rushes to Samia as well, and does do a quick casting of Cure Light Wounds upon her for 11 damage. Or 11 healing.
I was gonna say 11 damage.
11 healing as well.
Yes, and I also did 10 damage.
10. Yep, I saw. Thank you.
She then
That was
looks
a joke,
looks
damage.
over to Dennok and smiles. You've done it. We have all done it. The temple is cured. As you look up in the sky, that swirling gray misty cloud begins to part. Like a great breeze above you is blowing from the center, and it's almost evaporating in like a spirally circle, revealing a beautiful summer sky and a few birds in the sky as well. The temperature quickly begins to rise from that 30-ish degrees to a beautiful, cool and crisp 68 degrees Fahrenheit. It feels nice.
Well, I feel overdressed.
Wow.
Orador is quickly moving around. Jode joins her, and they are congratulating themselves, each other. There's a little bit of tears. Jode is like, "By the gods, by Erastil's horns, by... I never thought we'd actually find this place, and let alone so quickly cure it of it, what ails it, and that... Ah! 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 What?
What?
Ah!
What was it that ailed it?
I do not know. Perhaps our friend here. She looks a little unsure. It was a corruption. Its exact source I know not, but I believe it may have had something to do with the man in yellow.
I'm gonna just kind of take in the surroundings. This place, like from the map, looks like it's pretty busted up.
It is very busted up, correct.
I don't really know what to do at this point, honestly.
I'm not actually casting that. I'm sorry.
Eldora, what next? This place looks like it's been through a lot.
What is next is, with your help, she looks to Jode, hopefully we can rebuild it and turn it into a place of peace and rest, of hearth and home. At least that is my hope.
Did the Guardian have a name, might I ask?
His name was Reginald. He had guarded this place for many years, until the corruption overtook him and took not only his life but his mind. We have freed him from living a life of cruelty.
This temple has no name?
It is simply the Temple of Erastil.
If it's not too improper, we could call this place Reginald's Rest. Yeah.
She nods. She seems pleased with that, unless anyone has any protest.
Yes, I would gladly assist in rebuilding this place.
Well,
You
of
have
course.
my-
Well, of course we're going to rebuild this place, you old scoundrel. That's precisely the reason I came here. Can you
I am
believe
not-
it? The temple I have searched for some 20 years, it is not only real, but it is in need of a fine Dwarven craftsman's hands to build stone and pillars, and perhaps over there we can set up a small overhang and whatnot, and a giant altar there that we can do ceremonies from. And he just starts to go on a tangent about how excited he is about this.
Theragor grumbles, I'm not a scoundrel.
What's that over there?
What? Ooh, something
Over
like
by
that?
the wooden pathway.
You mean this thing?
You mean this vaguely humanoid-shaped tree lady?
Yeah.
A vaguely shaped humanoid tree lady forms up out of branches, leaves, and a bit of vine work and whatnot. It has a feminine face, a feminine figure. It reaches down ever so gently and touches the pool of water. Its voice is like that of rustling leaves. I, as a human, can't make that sound, so just use your imagination. All right.
Wow.
I know, immersion ruined. I can't make
So
the rustling tree
disappointed.
sound. I'm
That's
so
it. I
sorry.
quit.
I don't
You
know
can
what
start
to do.
speaking, and I'll just go shh
That's
in the
perfect,
background.
perfect, Dennok. Perfect. The voice is the same voice you heard as the branches formed that face, yet now it stands before you as a humanoid figure. I would say that I am surprised. Yet, there is a reason that I called to you. You have done well, Dennok. All of you have done well. This temple, my temple, the temple of the stag god, it has been released from the cruelty that gripped it. I have asked much of you, yet I wonder, would you allow me to ask a bit more? And in so asking, offer you something in return.
I have a question too.
Ask it.
How long was this temple like this? How long did he suffer?
Corruption. It seeped into his heart and his mind. Began many years ago. It was slow and insidious like a cancer. But it did not fully form itself until no more than 6 months ago. But it was there for much longer.
I feel like I've heard your voice almost my entire life. And I don't understand why you would reach out so far. Surely there must have been others closer that could have helped to end this suffering sooner.
A breeze whips up and leaves sort of swirl up and around her. Closer. Yes, perhaps. But none that I felt were more deserving. I wish to offer you something, Dennok. My champion has fallen. And she motions lightly in the direction of the skeleton that represents the slain Reginald. I am in need of a new champion. Would you take up that mantle for me, Dennok? Would you be the lady's champion?
What does that mean?
It means you will have my blessing as you go forth from here. And much as a mother looks over her child, I shall watch over you. But so too, as a child cares for their mother, you shall care for me.
I've spent so long trying to find this voice. And it said, do my will. But I still don't know what your will is. I can't help but have second thoughts because I just don't know anything. You are just so far outside of my experience. I don't know how to fathom you.
The leaves rustle again. Oradora is quietly weeping. She seems beyond herself, beside herself with joy and just overcome with emotion. Jode is watching this spirit before you with just wonder. Eric remains terrified and is hiding behind a rock. No, dear Dennok, you do not know much of me. Perhaps, though, you can take it on faith that I wish only the betterment of your life, the lives of your companions, and the lands that I call my home. I believe our desires for this forest, for the plains, for the lands that you so commonly call the stolen lands are one and the same. To create a kingdom where those who feel lost can find a home. So, will you be my champion in this cause? And she reaches out a long, like branch-like hand towards you.
Dennok will step forward. He will raise his hand, put it beside hers, and stop for a moment and say, I need to learn. And I need to learn if these steps that I am to take with you, if they are indeed just. So I will take your hand. But if I learn that our paths cannot walk beside each other, will you hold me prisoner to those oaths?
Her hand remains mere centimeters away from yours. You can almost feel like a leaf or so like brush against your palm. It's sort of like a little light tickle. I will hold you to what is in your heart, Dennok. That is why I chose you. Nothing more and nothing less. Her hand motions slightly towards you, but stops about halfway, waiting for you, Dennok, to allow them to connect.
Your servant said you need me to be dangerous. Bear that in mind, and I'll take the hand.
As you grip the hand, you feel your arm a slight tinge of pain. Her arm, the branches begin to grow out and cover your left arm and grow up it. Your flesh and skin begins to turn into like bark, and it hurts and stings a little bit. However, as it happens, that pain quickly dissipates and it starts to feel very natural. Like, even though it looks like bark, it feels no different than your skin felt before. The in-game effects is you have a permanent +2 to natural armor, and as this happens, you start to feel very in tune with the forest around you. You now have the effects permanent of Woodland Stride. Woodland Stride, as per the Ranger and the Druid ability. She pulls back her hand and smiles. This is but the beginning of the gifts I shall offer you, my champion. You have done well. See to your companions. Go with my blessing. The leaves begin to rustle, the branches start to fall apart, and the Lady of the Woods disappears before you. The branch comes up your arm, and like the bark kind of like kisses your neck just ever so slightly, but like your whole arm, you basically have like a Winter Soldier arm now, but it's a tree. Well, it's pretty neat.
I'll offer a wan smile to the nothing to say. Still didn't tell me your goddamn name.
That's funny. Jode is already starting to. He's just like, wow, that was amazing. He moves to Dennok and like asks questions. Did it hurt? Like, what was it like?
Yes, I
Oradora,
have no confusing.
Oradora just looks very intrigued by what she saw, but just offers a like a very like understanding smile and nod. The champion, he has been chosen. Pervilash is like, I don't know. I think she could have chosen better, but I'm not the lady. And then like flutters over this way. Eric's like, so you're a tree person now. That's kind of weird.
Well, that. Congratulations, Dennok. I think I said it before, but greatness is thrust upon people.
I think well, we should be solidly in the wait and see.
Definitely.
It was smart of you to put that conditional on it. I hope you don't regret your choices.
I don't know.
Me too.
I've known Jode. He's of good character. If this lady truly does serve Erastil, I think you have pledged yourself to a worthy cause.
Yes. I feel we shouldn't be suspicious of this lady.
Whoa, 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 whoa. The paranoid guy's not suspicious of the weird tree lady. First of all, my immersion ruined. Just kidding. Continue.
Wow. Thanks. You're gonna talk while we're RPing immersion.
Yeah, yeah, I am.
Yeah.
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 About it. Huh?
I'm also going to show you guys. Hold on. Let me turn off
Wow.
my
You're not
background.
gonna show us anything.
No, hold on. You guys, you have to see this.
Boy,
Hold on one second. Let me
version.
turn off my background. Oh, he just got up. He was being super cute. It's
Nah.
Tio. Tio
Yep.
Babino's he was laying down on his
Yeah, but-
side, like in front of my computer, and just being the cutest little baby boy.
Yeah.
Look at this little sweet baby boy. He's the cutest.
Look at the kitty. Look at the kitty.
Kitty.
Alright, I'm done.
Anyways.
Also, that's actually a really good time for me to go ahead and change my background to not being the winter.
Oh,
Because
that's
you guys
right.
fixed
Oh,
it!
yeah.
Yay!
Yay!
It's not
Winter is
winter anymore.
gone.
Now it's summer and trees. Yay!
Summer is
You
coming.
see some squirrels and like tiny,
Yeah.
like tiny creatures running around. Like an elk runs through the temple, and Jode's like, "Ah, yes, Rastal does bless us." Ha ha!
I will just go ahead and use my new Arcanist ability that I got when I leveled up for my exploits. I'm going to do Sea Magic as per the ability. Here, boop. I expend one Arcanist point. Boop, doop, doop. I think I'm at 3 now. For 1 minute, I can instantly recognize magic item auras, spell effects as detect magic. During this time, treat it as if I studied each aura for 3 rounds, and can treat knowledge arcane as 15 on a d20. In addition, identify.
It's a better detect magic.
Yeah. Is there cool stuff around?
There is. There is a cloak of resistance +2 on the ground.
Ooh.
There is an amulet of natural armor +2 on the ground, and there is a ring of protection +2 on the ground. That was all belonged to Reginald, which is a
Wow.
reference that Samia might pick up, but
Yeah.
she hasn't smiled yet.
I didn't want to give it away.
All right,
Mhm.
it's a little bit of a
I
callback.
clearly need the amulet of natural armor.
It
obviously.
will not stack with what you have.
Nah.
I'm
Damn.
obviously joking.
I just want to make sure you understand that, like, mechanically.
Yeah. So cloak of resistance +2, a ring of protection +2, and a ring of.
Restilian amulet of natural armor.
Okay.
Yep.
That won't.
Yep.
That won't stack with Ring of Protection, right?
Oh, it absolutely will. Ring of
Okay.
Protection is deflection bonus, and
Okay.
natural armor is a natural armor bonus.
Right. The type bonuses they stay. They don't.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hmm. Pretty cool. Pretty cool.
I guess I'll hand them out.
Okay.
Uh, anyone okay with just getting a +1 hand-me-down and I go to a +2? I am
Uh,
squishy as
For
fuck.
what?
The Ring of Protection.
Oh.
I can give the +1 to someone, or if someone else wants a +2, that's fine.
uh, who has the lowest out of Sabia and Dennok?
Yeah, that is also a good question. Let's figure this out. Because
I'm my AC's 19.
yeah, without anything, with just my ring and my natural AC, I'm at 13 AC, 12 touch, and flat-footed.
Mm-hmm.
What about Dennok?
Dennok's AC is currently 18, but I am okay withdrawing myself from contention at this point of time
Yeah.
because I kind of got a lot of magical abilities and crap today.
Mhm.
So
Yeah. I'm
I
just
have a
trying to make sure I don't die.
Yeah. So I do have a 17, but I'm not up in the front fighting a lot.
I
If we
mean,
wanted to give it to one of the
I'm more interested in the Cloak of Resistance, honestly,
Mhm.
because my saves are garbage.
Yeah.
Well, I'll take the +1 ring if no one else wants it.
Right.
But
All right.
yeah.
So I'm okay having the +2 ring, and I'll give Theragar my +1.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, do that.
And then the last thing we had was a ring of natural armor, right? Or
Amulet
amulet of natural
of
armor.
natural armor, yeah.
And that doesn't stack with what Dennok just got.
No, it does not.
All right. Hey Dennok, what's your saves look like? Would the Cloak of Resistance work for you?
I mean,
I don't want to take two things if you get nothing. So since the natural armor doesn't work for you.
my saves are not currently fantastic.
All right, so why don't you
My
take
reflex is good, but
why don't you take the Cloak of Resistance and I'll take the Amulet of Natural Armor then. That way everybody gets something.
if you're sure.
Yeah.
Um,
It's not
okay.
fair if you don't get anything.
Well, I also got the ability to walk through trees and got natural armor. So it's like I didn't get nothing. I was just saying I'm okay if other people are taking things that are less permanent. I'm okay with that. You said it was Cloak of Resist +2 or +1?
It was +2.
Okay.
And
Cool.
then Amulet of Natural Armor +2 as well.
Cool.
Okay.
Well, here's what I'm thinking, folks. I like the cadence of this fight, this final scene. So I think this is a good moment to go ahead and get ready to wrap up this session and do a little after session powwow.
Sure.
But I do want to offer any final moments, thoughts, questions, concerns, or interactions you'd like to have before we wrap up today's session.
I think. Actually, no, I'm good.
So as you all watch Jode excitedly going around the temple, he's asking Theragor for advice on what stone they might be able to use, etc. Eric is very happy to be distracted after the events and looks almost white as a ghost, like this was a terrifying experience for the poor bard. He did inspire courage. I don't want to die. And Dora is also tagging along with Jode and Eric, but also occasionally looks back at Dennok. There is a mixture of like someone seeing like their almost like idol worship a little bit. But there's also a faint amount of like maybe just the faintest little bit of jealousy in her eyes as well that you might pick up on. With that being said though, you spend the rest of the day at the temple. The temple itself, if you spend the night at this location, confers the effects of bless for 24 hours thereafter. Also, the pool of water here, you can drink from it, and it acts as a Cure Light Wounds at a caster level 5. No, you cannot bottle it and take it with you, but if you drink from it while you're here, you can heal yourself. It is a magical pool of water. The number of times you're like, can I put it in a
Gonna say
bottle?
swirly.
It's like, stop it. No.
Stop.
But with that being said, that is where we will end today's session. As I always say at the end of every session, thank you very much to the players for playing. Truly, without you all, this is impossible. I appreciate you going on this journey with me. Thank you to the viewers for viewing. It's always nice to have folks hopefully getting some enjoyment out of this. And with that being said, be well, be safe, and happy gaming. And remember, the dice have a story to tell, or the story have a dice to tell. I can never remember. Be well and be safe, everybody. Cheers.